Valley Nighthawks in the second game of a back-to-back two-game home-and-home series. Good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Jonah White, joined alongside me by Jonah Krell. Jonah, it's been an interesting season series between these two teams. The Nighthawks lead the series 2-1. This will be the fourth meeting between these teams this season. Upper Valley have had a great start to the season. The SwampBats, on the other hand, are in a bit of a rut. These are two teams that have enjoyed opposite fortunes over the most recent week.
Yeah, absolutely. And you go back to Keene for a moment there. It's just been a real struggle offensively. I've been surprised because they've got a lot of great offensive talent.
Absolutely.
But it just hasn't come out as of late. 12 runs in the last 6 games. They've lost 5 of last 6. So hopefully being back home, they can turn their fortunes around.
Absolutely. For Upper Valley, they come in winners of 4 straight. They're 7-2, first in the NECBL North Division, in a race with Vermont at the top of the North Division. Vermont at 9-3-1, Upper Valley at 7-2, and again, they've won their last 4 ball games. For the SwampBats, this is the fifth of 5 straight days with a game. They've got 2 more coming up tomorrow and Saturday. And the SwampBats, like you said, Jonah, it's all about offense for Keene. They've scored 12 runs in the last 6 games combined, only won one of them. They are now 5-7 in the NECBL North Division. Really big bounce-back opportunity here at home tonight, where the SwampBats have been pretty good, where they are 4-2 at Alumni Field. Let's talk about yesterday's game. Nighthawks beat the SwampBats 5-3 in Upper Valley. SwampBats took the lead in a Garrett Rice RBI single at the top of the first, but the Nighthawks took the lead back in the bottom of the first.
Yeah, the Nighthawks really silenced Keene's bats after the second inning. They didn't have a hit after the second inning. A great bullpen showing for Upper Valley. It was just a team effort, and it was really interesting because, once again, Upper Valley found ways to win. They found a way to get guys on base without having a great offensive night. Yes, they had 9 hits, but they got their hits interesting ways. 2 sac flies, a hit by pitch brought in a run. They capitalize on the stolen bases, the errors of other teams, and they move guys over and good things happen.
Yeah, the SwampBats tied the game at 2 in the top of the second, but Upper Valley got a run in the 5th, a run in the 6th, a run in the 7th. Keene could only respond with a single run in the 7th inning. And the Nighthawks won 5-3. Brady Fuller got the win. Joel Rodriguez tagged with the loss. Randall Alejo picked up his first save of the season in a game that took 2 hours and 30 minutes. And the big thing in that game for the SwampBats, no hits after the second inning. Other games yesterday in the NECBL, Sanford beat Mystic 7-5. Vermont beat Ocean State 8-2 in the first game of a doubleheader. The second game was the first tie of the NECBL season. 5-5, the final score after 2 extra innings between Ocean State and Vermont. Martha's Vineyard beat Newport 4-0. North Shore beat Bristol 6-2. And Valley beat North Adams 7-2. That means the standings look like this.
Yeah, we start with the North Division. Both the Nighthawks and SwampBats are in. Nighthawks lead that division at 7-2, and Vermont is right on their heels, 9-3-1 on the season, a half game back. And behind them, Sanford and then Keene at 5-7, 3.5 games back of first place. Still very early on, still a lot of time left. And then going through the rest of the divisions here in the NECBL, Valley Blue Sox lead the West at 8-4. Bristol Blues right behind them. Danbury at 4-8, struggling. North Adams just can't get over the hump. They're at 1-11 to start the season, and that one win was on opening day. So they're still looking to clean things up. And then last but not least, in the Coastal Division, it's led by the Newport Goals at 9-3. Closely behind them, the Mystic Schooners, a game and a half back at 8-5 this season. Then it's pretty competitive. Ocean State at 7-5, Martha's Vineyard 4-7, and then it gets a little lower with the North Shore Navigators at 4-9. But you look at the North Division, pretty competitive looking stuff. Each team has at least 5 wins, so that's a real positive sight.
Absolutely. It shapes up early in this season as the best division in the NECBL. If the season ended today, the SwampBats would be tied with the Bristol Blues for the 8th and final playoff spot in the NECBL. Time to look at the starting lineups for this evening's game. Jonah, take us through lineup for Matt Paws' Upper Valley Nighthawks, who are first in the North Division with a record of 7-2.
Yeah, a little bit of an interesting wrinkle in Upper Valley's lineup. Leading off for the Nighthawks, it's Darius Myers, a left fielder. Batting second, Ethan Kavanaugh at second base. In the 3 spot, Steve Harrington playing first tonight. And in the 4 hole, it's Ryan Cesarini, the DH. Batting fifth, Chris Worcester at shortstop. In the 6 hole, Bear Madliak, for the first time since last summer, playing at third base tonight, the usual catcher out of Jacksonville State. Batting seventh, Garrett Pike in right field. In the 8 spot, it's Corey Klingenbeck, the catcher. And then rounding it out in the 9 hole, Dylan Palmer, the center fielder.
For the SwampBats, Jordan Smith leads off in center field for Sean McKenna's team that's 5-7, fourth in the North Division. Brian Padilla, the second baseman, bats second. Devin Taylor in right field hits third. Garrett Rice, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Matt Brown Earring in the 5 hole, he's in left field. Greg Bazzo, the 6th batter, will do the catching. Blake Delamalier, the DH, batting 7th. Ramses Cordova at shortstop, he hits 8th. And Evan Goforth is the third baseman, batting number 9. For starting pitcher, Jack Cartsonis, a senior righty from Kent State, the starter for the Upper Valley Nighthawks, a junior lefty from SUNY Cortland, Louis Misla. We'll step aside for the national anthem and bring it back with the first pitch between the Upper Valley Nighthawks and the Keene SwampBats. This is Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
Keene SwampBats Baseball on the NECBL Network is brought to you by Duncan, Timken, Ted's Shoe and Sport, C&S Wholesale Grocers, Raider Dental, Corning, Service Credit Union, the Keene Sentinel, the Greater Keene and Peterborough Chamber, connecting business and community, U.S. Cellular, Coca-Cola, Monadnock Broadcasting Group, Savings Bank of Walpole, the Savings Bank of you, Monadnock Ford, Fidium Fiber Internet, Yanos Technology, Fenton Family Dealerships, Hertzskirt, American House, Fairfield, making memories since 1904, Fraser & Son Furniture, ICU Medical, M&T Bank, Mascoma Bank, True Rest, and by New Hampshire Ball Bearings Incorporated. Stay tuned for more of the SwampBats coming up next.
Joining you for this one, our producer engineer on Pure Oldies 104.1 is Forrest Sundstrom. Our director on the NECBL Network is Stephen Pierce, and producer Ryan Hearn. Thanks so much for joining us again as the SwampBats look to get out of this offensive rut they've been in for the last 6 games. Just 12 runs combined. They are 1-5 over that span. Upper Valley will send to the plate Darius Myers, Ethan Kavanaugh, and Stephen Harrington in the top of the first against Jack Cartsonis. And let's get you the umpires for today's game. John Patala is behind the plate. We will have Kevin Jourdain at first base. And J.C. Fernandez making the calls at third. It's a beautiful evening for baseball, 77 degrees, not too much wind, sunny skies at Alumni Field in the Granite State. Jack Cartsonis on the hill for Keene, number 15, 6'4", 210, out of Kent State from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. 2 starts on the season. He's 0-1 with a 4.65 ERA. 9 2/3 innings, 6 hits allowed, 6 runs, 5 earned, 2 walks and 12 strikeouts. So he has had good command of the strike zone. That'll certainly be key for the SwampBats tonight. Keene in their purple jerseys with white up the sides, SwampBats and black capital letters across the front with white outlines, black numbers, white outlines on the back of the jerseys, white pants, purple caps, and black bills. The Nighthawks in their dark blue tops with neon green bands, white numbers and letters, gray pants for the Nighthawks. Darius Myers leads off against the righty Jack Cartsonis, who deals ball 1 outside to get us underway at 6:33 p.m. Jack's 1-0, drilled in the air, deep center field, back goes Jordan Smith. It's a leadoff home run. First of the season for Darius Myers, the Louisiana Tech outfielder, puts the Nighthawks up 1-0, 1 batter into the game.
And that was on the second pitch of this game too, Jonah. I mean, Darius Myers, he had a hit in every game so far, but we haven't seen that power yet. Every single one of his hits coming into this game was a single. That is the first extra base hit of the season for Darius Myers. We knew we were going to see sparks fly, but didn't expect that from Darius.
375 feet off the bat of Myers as Cartsonis deals ball 1 to Ethan Cavanaugh, the second baseman from Troy. Cavanaugh batting 154, the .333 on-base percentage. And he takes a strike. It's 1-1. Pitching has not been the problem for the SwampBats. They're 5th out of the 13 teams of the league with a team ERA of 3.31. Issues have been on the other side. The 1-1 fouled off the umpire. And Sean Patalo will be given a moment to try and walk it off. The count 1 ball to 2 strikes on Cavanaugh.
I really hope that we don't get this again, because last time the Nighthawks were here at Alumni Field, the home plate umpire got hit not once but twice, and there had to be extended stoppage in play to check on the umpire. And here we are again, and it's happened.
Yeah, hopefully that's the only one that John Patala takes this evening, as he just tries to walk it off. I can tell you that is not a pleasant feeling. And John wipes off the plate, puts his brush back in his pocket, and it looks like we should be ready to go on 1-2 to Ethan Cavanaugh. Runs have been at a premium in SwampBat games this season, even at home at Alumni Field with hitter-friendly dimensions. So a big leadoff home run for the Nighthawks. 1-2 to Cavanaugh, misses up high. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
That was just the first home run given up by Cartsonis this summer.
2-2, breaking ball on the ground slowly to short. Charged by Cordova, transfers quickly and throws high to first base. It goes to the backstop. Taken off for second is Cavanaugh. Backing it up is Bazo, but far too late. Ethan Cavanaugh aboard at second base on throwing error by the shortstop, Ramses Cordova.
Yeah, that throw not even close to the first baseman Rice. And, you know, we were talking before the game how the fielding issues had been cleaned up in the last few games, but that was just sloppy.
Tough play for Ramses there. Fielded it after charging, transferred on the run, and made a very high throw to Garrett Rice at first base that bounded off the facing of the grandstand. So here's Stephen Harrington, a first baseman, left-hand batter from Hofstra. He fouls it back, 0-1. SwampBats defense today, Greg Bazo is behind the plate. Garrett Rice at first base. Brian Padillas at second. Ramses Cordova back in there at shortstop. And Evan Goforth is the third baseman for the Bats. Matt Brown Earring in left, Jordan Smith back at center, and Devin Taylor in right. For SwampBats defense, it's the second worst in the league statistically, but as you just mentioned, Jonah, those issues were mostly at the beginning of the season with guys playing out of position. The 0-1 foul back, it's 0-2. SwampBats coming into today, it only made 7 errors in their past 8 games. That hasn't been the primary culprit for this 1-5 skid they're on right now. 0-2 on the Hofstra lefty Harrington. The pitch taken outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. So a home run and an error to start off the game for Upper Valley. A 1-0 lead. Runner at second. And nobody out in the top of the first. 1-2 from Jack. Taken a little bit high with a breaking ball. 2-2. Gartsonis is a very good sweeping slider. SwampBats have scored 3 or fewer runs, as we mentioned, in 6 straight games and 8 of the last 10 games. The 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. Got him with a slider. First strikeout for Jack Gartsonis. 1 out in the top of the first. And still Kavanaugh at second base for Ryan Cesarini. Left-hand batter from St. Joseph's, batting .303 on the season with a .395 on-base percentage. And Sean McKenna is going to go out and have a conference here with his pitcher, Gartsonis. It's, oh my goodness. Jack is being taken out of the game. This
is interesting.
Yeah, this is unfortunate for Jack, a really strong pitcher for the SwampBats out of Kent State. It's got to be an injury concern. We can't speculate. I didn't notice anything, Jonah.
Yeah.
On any of the deliveries.
Right. It was a breaking ball strikeout, beautifully done from Steve Harrington. And, we can't really see anything noticeably wrong with him.
Yeah, we don't speculate, of course. But, unfortunately, Jack Gartsonis taken out of the game with for lack of any other explanation. We don't have any confirmation.
Coach's decision.
we'll pass it on to you, but really the only feasible explanation for this would be if there's something bothering Jack Gartsonis, and we can only hope that it's minor, because Jack figures to be a very important arm for the SwampBats this season. Already has been. They will give the new pitcher lots of time to warm up. It's going to be Matt Rowe, the reliever from Rutgers, who will be asked to go an extended distance, you would think, in this ball game. We'll step aside as the Nighthawks lead 1-0 with 1 out and a man on second base in the top of the first. Jack Gartsonis lifted here.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can help your business grow. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can help your family spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before.
Jonas lifted from the game after 3 batters, and Jonah, Jack's a guy who typically throws his fastball right around 90 miles an hour. His average fastball velocity is 90 miles an hour, and he was sitting at around 87, 88, so noticeably a few miles an hour below what he's normally averaging. He looked a little bit labored on the mound, and you know, that's really all we know. But he's been taken out of the game. You know, you're not going to pull somebody after a home run, an error, and a strikeout for performance reasons in the top of the first inning. So that's what we know, and hopefully it's something that Jack's able to get worked out and get back on the mound soon.
Yeah, absolutely. And now quickly the SwampBats have to shift gears with Matt Rowe, the junior righty from Rutgers. He's got to completely shift his mindset and say, hey, I'm throwing this game like I'm the starter, and I'm going to shove here because my guy couldn't go. So he's got to support his guy, and he knows that he has to step up in a big situation.
Not what the SwampBats wanted in their 5th game out of 7 games in 7 days. So Rowe comes in. He'll face Ryan Cesarini, left-hand batter from St. Joseph's, with 1 out and a man at second base. 1-0 Nighthawks here at the top of the first. And there's a breaking ball down low and inside. 1 ball and no strikes.
Cesarini, he's got a hot bat as of late, 7 for 14 in his last 3 games, back-to-back games with 3 hits. You got to be careful against him.
1-0 from Rowe downstairs. 2 balls, no strikes. Matt out of Rutgers. Fastball, slider, cutter, changeup. 6'1", 195 from Metuchen, New Jersey. He's a junior at Rutgers. And the righty will deal 2-0. On the ground to second base. Padilla comes in. Field sidearms high to first, and a swipe tag by Rice is not applied. Another error by the SwampBats middle infield. Kavanaugh to third. First and third now with 1 out for Christopher Worcester.
Again, that's a routine play that Padilla has got to make. I've seen him make several diving, great defensive plays over at second base. And again, they're being a little sloppy here early on in this first, and you got to be careful. You can't cost your team runs.
Rowe now to Worcester. Low, 1 ball and no strikes. Chris Worcester, shortstop from Eastern Illinois, batting .231 with a .344 on-base percentage. 3 RBIs on the season, a chance for 1 or 2 here with men on the corners. Ground ball to shortstop. Cordova, trouble getting it out of his glove, throws to second, 1 on to first, not in time. An unearned run comes home for the Nighthawks as Kavanaugh scores from third. SwampBats have only turned 4 double plays this season. Off the bat, it looked like that had a chance to be. Cordova, little slow getting the ball out of his glove at shortstop, and Worcester able to beat it out.
He was trying to decide if he was going to flip it with his forehand or sort of backhand flip it, and he went with a backhand.
Here's Bear Madliak, the third baseman from Jacksonville State, looking for his first hit of the season. He takes a strike, 0-1. Matt Rowe made 2 appearances this spring for Rutgers through 3 scoreless innings total. He was 0-1 with a 4.38 ERA in 2022. Pitched for the Ocean State Waves last summer. The pitch low, and it's 1-1. He appeared in 13 games for the Waves, making 3 starts. Pitched 25 2/3 innings, going 0-2 with a 7.36 earned run average. The 1-1 to Madliak. Runner goes from first to Chopper to third. Go forth in. Fields throws to first, and it's dropped by Garrett Rice. Another error on the infield for the SwampBats. Make it 3 in this first inning. Going all the way to third is Worcester, who is off with a pitch. And on at first is Bear Madliak. It's a messy first inning for the Keene SwampBats. They have made 3 errors.
Yeah, messy is the kind word right now at this point. That was a great play at third from Evan Goforth.
That's an error on Rice, the first baseman,
Yes.
who just didn't catch the ball.
And it was a great play by the third baseman Goforth, but it popped out of the glove of Rice at first.
Here's Garrett Pike, a lefty, and he lines one toward right field. Taylor coming on. It sits in front of him for a base hit. Scoring from third is Worcester. Advancing to second is Madliak. And there are runners at first and second with 2 outs. It's a 3-run first inning for the Upper Valley Nighthawks. 3 errors, a home run, 2 of the runs unearned. And an RBI base hit for the lefty from Toledo, Garrett Pike. So now Corey Klingenbeck, the switch-hitting catcher from Cincinnati, batting .143 with a .333 on-base percentage. The 8th man to hit in this top of the first inning.
Klingenbeck, he must be antsy to be out there right now. Hasn't played a ton of games so far this season, as the Nighthawks have 3 catchers on board, as that's
First pitch
in their
to
first
him.
strike.
At that ease, strike 1. Evans fantastic. He's been the best hitter for the Nighthawks. They're almost every day starting catcher.
Just the 4th game for Klingenbeck this season.
Rose 0-1, down and in with a back foot slider, and the count 1-1 strike. This season, Matt Rose made 2 appearances, giving up 3 runs in an inning and 2/3. No wins, no losses. Hasn't pitched in a while. The 1-1, a little bit low. 2 balls and a strike. SwampBats not super deep in the bullpen as we get toward the end of this stretch of 7 games in 7 days. Klingenbeck ready for a 2-1 from Rowe. Here it comes. Tipped into the mitt of Bazo. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Klingenbeck only 1 hit so far this season, and that was a home run against the Ocean State Waves in Game 2 of this season. Just hasn't gotten a ton of opportunities. I'm sure he wants to pull one here.
A 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed strike 3. Rowe got him with a slider. That retires the side in the top of the first, but Upper Valley scored 3 runs on 2 hits. 3 SwampBats errors and 2 men left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. It's the Upper Valley Nighthawks 3 and the Keene SwampBats coming to bat. This is Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
At Keene State College, life is an adventure. You'll forge your path forward. As an owl, you'll take on challenges in the classroom, field, court, or track. Every worthwhile adventure has its share of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes hard work and dedication. No owl flies alone on their journey at Keene State. Teammates, coaches, professors, alumni, and fellow owls are with you along the way. They lift you up as you continue forward. When you're part of Owl Nation, you become the person you truly want to be.
face junior left-hander committed to SUNY Cortland next year. The long-haired lefty will face Jordan Smith, Brian Padilla, and Devin Taylor in the bottom of the first after a top half of the inning that was out of the SwampBats' worst nightmares.
Yeah, it goes back to those first few games to begin the season where they just had trouble, all sorts of fielding troubles, and it's sort of representative of what we've seen in the stats column with 21 errors coming into this game. That was second most in the NECBL. Several routine plays they could have made in that first inning, but they just couldn't make it, and it's very uncharacteristic of a team that has cleaned it up in the last few games in terms of the errors.
An E6, an E4, and an E3 leading to 2 unearned runs after the home run by Darius Myers in the top of the first inning. And that wasn't even the most concerning thing that happened in the top of the first for the SwampBats. That would be Jack Kartsonis exiting the game after 3 batters. Jordan Smith, the right-hand batting center fielder, lead things off against Misla. And Misla deals him a strike of the knees, 0-1. 3-0 Nighthawks, bottom of the first. The pitch, down low. It's 1-1 for Smith. Brian Padilla and Devin Taylor to follow here for the Bats in the bottom of the first. Misla set, the 1-1. Foul back by Smith, and it's 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Biggest thing you got to watch out for with Luis Misla is that slider. Perfected it in high school. It's his go-to pitch to get guys out. Real simple for him. Fastball slider, and it's led for success here in this early goings of this Nighthawks season, a 1.92 ERA.
The 1-2 on the ground towards second. Took a weird hop off the mound, but backhanded by Kavanaugh. He throws out Smith. 1 out for Brian Padilla. So we'll see if the SwampBats can get some offense. They'll need at least 3 runs, which is the most they've scored in any of their last 6 contests. They are 11th in the league in hitting at 192, last in OBP at 301. Padilla takes ball 1 down low.
The only real positive stat in terms of offense is the home runs. 9 home runs, good for 4th in the NECBL, thanks to this friendly confines of Alumni Field.
1-0 misses in the dirt, 2 balls and no strikes. Kartsonis in the abbreviated start goes a third of an inning, gives up 1 hit and 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, and 1 strikeout. Removed after just 3 batters. The 2-0 is high, 3 balls and no strikes, and just feel for Jack. You know, don't want to, can't obviously speculate, and hopefully it's not a big deal. We just have no idea. The 3-0 at the knees, 3-1, but Jack's a guy who's had an excellent spring with Kent State. Had a good start to this summer. And he's just a good all-around guy. The 3-1 is on the ground to second base. Kavanaugh moves to his right, throws to first in time. And Padilla is retired for the second out. And this is what the SwampBats don't want, Jonah, is Devin Taylor coming to the plate with 2 outs and nobody on. They hit him third in the order with the hope that one of the guys or both of the guys in front of him can get on base. This is your Big Ten Freshman of the Year, 286 average, 333 OBP. Biggest offensive weapon on the team. But he bats here with 2 outs and the base is empty in the bottom of the first. 3-0 Nighthawks. A left-on-left matchup here, and the pitch is down and away. Ball with no strikes. Only the second time this season the SwampBats faced a left-hand starter. And Devin Taylor's the only left-handed bat in the lineup. The 1-0, breaking ball inside, 2-0. SwampBats have 3 left-handed bats available on the bench in this game. Livermore, Mumaw, and Horton all not in the lineup against the lefty pitcher. 2-0, check swing. Did he go? No, he did not, says the third base umpire, J.C. Fernandez, on an elevated fastball. The count 3 balls and no strikes on Devin Taylor, who probably has the green light here. The pitch, taken for a strike, top of the zone at 90 miles an hour. And it's 3-1 on Taylor.
If you're Keene, you're just desperate for a base runner here. Get your offense going here.
3-1 hit in the air, left center field. Coming in from left is Myers. Turns on the Jets to make the play. And that retires the side. A 1-2-3 bottom of the first for Luis Misla. And we go to the second with the score 3-0 Nighthawks. This is Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network. From Alumni Field on Head 2 and Fortnite here at the ballpark. Dylan Palmer leads things off for the Nighthawks of a 3-0 lead against Matt Rowe for extended relief after Cartsonis was taken out of the game after facing 3 hitters. Ball up high from Rowe on the left-hand batting Palmer. 1 ball and no strikes. Palmer from Hofstra hits one high in the air, right center field gap. That is going to get down and one hop the wall. Palmer's got speed, heading for second. He will pull in there and stop as the SwampBats get the ball back to the infield. Leadoff double for Dylan Palmer, and that sends up the top of the order for the Nighthawks.
Yeah, that's a great sight for Dylan, who's struggled a little bit at the plate so far this season. And in BP, he was hitting the ball well. It's a small ballpark, drawing a little bit of gasps from his teammates, and great start for him.
That'll bring up Adarius Myers, who led off the game with a homer to center on the second pitch from Cartsonis. Runner goes from second. The pitch is grounded toward short. Cordova will charge, pick it up, throw to first is in time by a half step to get the speedy Myers as Palmer moves up to third.
That aggression from Dylan Palmer is just what you're going to see from him. He's a fast guy. He's never relents on the base pass. He always wants to keep pushing and moving up on the base pass.
SwampBats keep the infield back except for the third baseman Goforth, who is even with the bag. First pitch to Ethan Cavanaugh. Ball inside to the right-hand hitter from Troy. Nothing in 1 ball and no strikes. Cavanaugh reached on an E6, one of 3 first-inning errors by the SwampBats, leading to 2 unearned runs. And the pitch hits him in the back. Maybe on the elbow.
90 mph on the fastball right there from Rowe. That's going to sting.
First and third, 1 out for the number 3 hitter, Steve Harrington, who struck out in the first. 1 out, first and third. SwampBats would love a ground ball double play. They've got the middle infielders back for that. Rice holding on. Cavanaugh at first, who's got 3 stolen bases this year. First pitch to Harrington. Bounded foul up the first base line. 0-1. It's going to be a bullpen day for the SwampBats, and they've got to keep in mind they've got 2 games the next 2 days. Mystic on the road tomorrow, and a big division game against the Vermont Mountaineers on Saturday. Having played the last 4 days before this one. Runner goes from first. The pitch is a strike. The throw to second base not in time. The throw home now is in time. Out at the plate is Dylan Palmer. Cordova cut off the throw to second. before it reached the bag. And the SwampBats get an out at the plate. It goes 2-6-2 as Palmer is caught stealing home. Give Kavanaugh a stolen base of second.
Sometimes that aggression is going to bite you. Dylan Palmer a little bit too aggressive on the base pass right there, trying to get that double steal.
Well, you knew what the idea was from the Nighthawks, and the SwampBats knew as well. They were prepared, executed perfectly by Bazo and by Cordova at short. The 0-2 pitch now, swung on and missed strike three. Got him with a slider. A good second inning for Matt Rowe with some help from his catcher and his shortstop as he records his second strikeout. No runs, one hit, no errors, one left. We go to the bottom of the second inning. It's Upper Valley 3, Keene nothing. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 in the NECBL network. The top of the second. Our producer and stats guru Ryan Hearn from Keene State College has informed me that on the double steal that was unsuccessful in the top of the second inning, Ethan Kavanaugh, who was the runner at first stealing second, is not credited with a stolen base, which makes sense. It's just a caught stealing home of Dylan Palmer. Garrett Rice leads off for the Bats in the second after they went down 1-2-3 in the first inning against Luis Misla, who deals ball one in the dirt. And now sets for the 1-0 to Garrett Rice. Swing and a foul at the plate, 1-1. Garrett hitting 194 with a 302 on base percentage. The SwampBats only have 6 players on the roster that are batting north of 200. This one line caught by Misla. SwampBats cannot catch a break even when they hit the ball hard. 1 out, and that'll bring up Matt Brown-Earing.
Overall, this Nighthawks lineup is really solid in terms of the field. You talked on the errors for the SwampBats, but only 10 errors for the Nighthawks. That's tied for first in the NECBL. And solid plays like that, like Misla, are representative of it.
Third in the league in fielding, as a pitch is taken for a strike by Brown-Earing. The outfielder, right-hand batter from Stony Brook, hitting 167 with a 342 on-base percentage. And he grounds a breaking ball to third. Madliak charging, throwing high, but staying on the bag at first is Steve Harrington for the second out. That'll send up Greg Bazo with 2 outs and nobody on. The defense for Upper Valley, Klingenbeck is behind the plate. Harrington's at first, Kavanaugh at second, Worcester at short, Madliak at third. Myers, Palmer, Pike left to right in the outfield.
Yeah, not bad for a catcher over there at the hot corner. Bear Madliak. I talked to head coach Matt Paz before the game. He said this is the first time Madliak is playing third base since last summer.
Greg Bazo fouls one at the plate, 0-1. He, along with Devin Taylor, the only guys batting over 200 in the lineup today for the SwampBats. Greg batting 3 with a 368 on-base percentage for the catcher from Northeastern. Lefty Misla is ready, the 0-1. In for a called strike, 0-2. 2 outs, nobody on. Bottom of the second, 3-0 Nighthawks. The look in. Miesler ready on 0-2. Ground ball to the left side. Charging is Madliak. Picks it up, bobbles it, picks it up again, and has no play. That should be an E5 on Bear Madliak, and the SwampBats have their first base runner of the evening.
Yeah, that's what's going to happen sometimes when you're testing things out over there at catcher. Madliak just sort of getting his feet wet. Had a lot of reps in BP with the manager, Matt Paz, and sometimes it's going to happen. The first throw was offline, a little bit offline. Harrington had to stretch and grab that time, just struggled to bobble it with that bobble. So he's still getting comfortable out there.
Here's Blake Delamelier. Ball 1 down low to Blake, batting 182 with a 280 on-base percentage, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs for the outfielder from Jacksonville State. Letting the day off in the field, but to keep his bat in the lineup as he swings and misses at an elevated fastball at 90 miles an hour from Luis Miesler. 1 ball and 1 strike. Miesler shakes off his catcher, now gets what he wants. The 1-1 hit high in the air but foul over toward right field near the SwampBats bullpen. And the count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Blake Delamelier.
That fastball sits about 89, 90 miles per hour. Not crazy velocity from Miesler, but a lot of spin, even on the fastball. That's his signature, the spin rate.
The 1-2 pitch, breaking ball, strike 3 call. Got him with a backdoor slider. And the second inning for the SwampBats, no runs, no hits, 1 error by Upper Valley and 1 left. We go to the third. It's Upper Valley with the 3-0 lead. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network. Bats trail the Upper Valley Nighthawks 3-0. Let's take our first look at the out-of-town scoreboard with 4 other games in the NECBL tonight, all getting underway similar time as us. Bristol with a 1-0 lead over Shanford in Connecticut in the 3rd inning. Danbury a 2-0 lead at home over Martha's Vineyard in the 3rd. Valley and Newport scoreless in the 3rd. North Adams a 1-0 lead over Ocean State in the top of the 2nd. Ryan Cesarini, the left-hand batting DH from St. Joseph's, reached on an error his first time up. Gets ready against Matt Rowe in the top of the 3rd and takes ball 1 a little bit high. Rowe looking to give the SwampBats some length and the rest of the bullpen for the next 2 days. The 1-0 low, 2 balls and no strikes. All while trying to keep the SwampBats within striking distance this evening at Alumni Field. 2-0 on Cesarini. The pitch taken at the D's, strike 1. Rowe looks in, gets a sign, hands together. The 2-1. On the ground, sharply to first. Rice holds off Rowe, takes it to the bag himself, one man away. One out, nobody on for Chris Worcester, who hit into a fielder's choice his first time up and then scored. All 3 runs in the first inning for Upper Valley. A solo home run from Darius Myers took advantage of 3 SwampBats errors to get 2 more runs, including an RBI single from Garrett Pike, as a strike is taken by Worcester, 0-1. Rowe works always from the stretch, and he throws a slider in for strike 2. SwampBats 4-2 at home. Their struggles have been on the road with their 1-5. 0-2. Lifted in the air. Shallow right center. Taylor called off by Smith, the center fielder, who makes the catch for the second out. Bear Madliak now. He reached on an error his first time. Committed an error in the bottom of the second inning with 2 outs, but it didn't come back to hurt the Nighthawks. First pitch to him from Rowe is dribbled toward the first base coach, Garrett Nance, and the count 0-1.
You just got to hope that those 3 errors are put behind them. Get it out of the way early if you're Keene, and play clean baseball from now on.
Yeah, those are strong infielders all over the diamond. Goforth, Cordova, Padilla, and Rice. The 0-1, down and in. 1 ball and 1 strike on Bear Madliak. Nighthawks are 4-2 on the road. They are 3-0 at home, including 2 wins over the SwampBats. 1-1 inside, 2 balls and a strike. Keene beat Upper Valley with help from a Garrett Rice first inning grand slam in the first game of the season here at Alumni Field way back when. 2-1 pitch, hit him. It got him on the rear end. And Madliak will take first base. If you're going to get hit, that's not the worst place to take it on an 87-mile-an-hour cutter from Matt Rowe.
But again, that's another free base by the SwampBats. Rowe has to do a better job of finding his command right here.
It's the second batter that he has hit. So at 2 outs, it brings up Garrett Pike, who lined an RBI single to center his first time up. Rowe's pitch, swung on and missed strike 3 and a slider. And the count 0-1.
Big swing and a miss right there from Garrett Pike. And second on the team with 12 strikeouts. He always looks to have that big blast.
Rowe's 0-1 pitch. Down and in with a cutter. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3-0 Nighthawks. 2 outs, a man at first in the top of the third. Pretty good crowd tonight at Alumni Field. The grandstand over halfway full. We've got a lot of people in that grandstand over the first base side here at intimate Alumni Field at Keene. The 1-1 pitch. Cutter way down and in. It's 2 balls and a strike on Pike. Upper Valley 7th in the league in batting average, .217. 7th in on-base percentage, .338. 9th in slugging, .288. None of the offensive stats stand out to you. They're 7-2, mainly on the back of their pitching. 2-1 pitch. Breaking ball missed outside. The count 3 balls and 1 strike.
But really, Jonah, you know, those numbers offensively are a little deceiving because they find ways to have timely hitting late in games. They come alive and they get guys on board and find a way to win.
The 3-1 pitch in there for a strike. Cutter caught the outside corner. The applause are sarcastically directed at Garrett Pike, who tossed his bat away, thinking it was ball 4. It could have been.
And as we look at our track man here, that pitch was actually outside of the strike zone, so definitely did have a reason to toss his bat there, did Garrett Pike.
Rowe shakes off his catcher. 3-2 with 2 out. It'll be a head start for Madliak. Swing and a miss. Strike 3 on a slider in the dirt. Bazo throws to first. Rice receives it in foul ground to complete the strikeout. Third strikeout for Matt Rowe, and it gets him through the top of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. We go to the bottom of the third. Still 3-0 Nighthawks. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network.
Your next Ford is waiting at Monadnock Ford. Right now, get a great offer like this on your next new Ford. See these offers and more at MonadnockFord.com. Monadnock Ford, home of the low price tire guarantee and your local Ford and used car retailer. Voted Keene's best.
In the bottom of the third, they scored 6 runs and 5 runs respectively in their first 2 games of the season. And in the 10 games since, they have been held to 3 runs or fewer 8 times. They're 2-6 in those games. They're 3-1 when scoring more than 3 runs. They have to score at least 3 runs today. Down by that amount in the bottom of the third. Ramses Cordova, the right-hand hitting shortstop, leads off and fouls back a breaking ball from Luis Misla, 0-1. Ramses taps the plate. The 0-1. Outside, 1 ball and 1 strike. Cordova go for the SwampBats, 8-9-1. In the batting order. 1-1 offering. Ripped foul up right field and tailing toward the SwampBats bullpen. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Misla's had a good start to his outing. 7 up, 6 down. The only base runner was in E5. The 1-2 on the ground to third. Madliak cuts it off in front of his shortstop. Airmails it to first off the facing of the grandstand. And lucky that ball didn't go into the grandstand, which would have given Cordova second base. Instead, he's on at first after another E5 from Bear Madliak.
Like I said, first time playing in that position since last summer for Bear Madliak. You're going to see a lot of growing pains. Matt Paz is just seeing what he's got at third base. Has one defensive, legitimate third baseman in Pat D'Amico, but he wants to see if he can have another one in Bear Madliak. So far, it's been really sloppy to start things off for him.
Goforth takes his strike, 0-1. Evan Goforth from Indiana. A right-hand batter, third baseman in the 9-hole this evening for Sean McKenna. 0-1, ripped and fouled back on the ground. Quickly 0-2 on Evan Goforth. See if the SwampBats could take advantage of a gift base runner to start things off in the bottom of the third. The 0-2 taken just below the D's. Klingenbeck tried to bring it up and by the call. It was a close pitch. Maybe Klingenbeck there would have done better to just stick it where it was instead of bringing it up with a kind of an exaggerated frame. Count 1-2 on Goforth. Here's a pitch. Breaking ball in there. Strike 3 call. Got him with a perfect slider. 1 on, 1 out. That will send Jordan Smith to the plate. He grounds it out his first time up. Second strikeout there for Luis Misla.
And that was filthy from Luis. 13 inches of horizontal break, over 27 RPMs on the spin rate. And maybe that's a little advanced for some of you listeners, but that's better than some of the major league hitters.
Smith grounds one straight to third. Madliak throws to second for 1. On to first. It's an around-the-horn double play. Smith has good speed, but he hit that one very hard, straight at the third baseman, Bear Madliak, who makes up for his error and starts the around-the-horn DP. No runs, no hits, 1 error, nobody left. We go to the 4th. It's 3-0 Upper Valley. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network.
Now's the time to get a great deal on proven Kubota farming equipment.
SwampBats, it's Will Newell, 40 from Pasco Hernando State, junior from Tallahassee, Florida. He's been very good this season for the SwampBats. 7 innings, 7 hits, 3 runs, all unearned. 1 walk and 8 strikeouts. He's got 1 save, a record of no wins and 1 loss. He's committed to Dayton for next year, just as of this week. Jonah White, Jonah Krell with you at Alumni Field. Matt Rowe went 2 2/3, 2 hits, 1 unearned run, no walks and 3 strikeouts. He hit 2 batters, but a very good relief outing for him after Cartsonis was unfortunately pulled after just 3 batters. Noticing his velocity was off, his mechanics may have appeared off, and we'll hope that whatever bothered Jack Cartsonis isn't too big of a deal. It'll be Corey Klingenbeck, Dylan Palmer, and Adarius Myers for the Nighthawks, and they're half of the 4th against a tall righty Will Newell. 3 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors, 4 men left on base through 3 innings of play for the Nighthawks. No runs, no hits, 3 errors, and 1 man left for the SwampBats. And with a play-by-play, here's Jonah Krell.
Thank you, Jonah. Now leading off for the Nighthawks, it's going to be Corey Klingenbeck. 8, 9, and 1 due up for Upper Valley. Looking to get some offense charged up after plating 2 in the first inning. 3 in the first inning, excuse me. On the pitch, in there for a strike from Newell. Newell, the junior righty from Pasco Hernando State College, stands out there, a huge frame, 6'6", 240. The 0-1, low and inside to Klingenbeck.
Still a beautiful night for baseball here in the Granite State. SwampBats need some offense. They need Newell to keep it at 3-0.
Newell kicks and deals. Sliced left side, but foul and out of play.
Klingenbeck, a switch-hitting catcher. Cincinnati Bearcat struck out his first time up.
Newell set to go, the 1-2. Fastball sails outside. Out of Pasco Hernando State last year, and in 2022 played for Lipscomb. Now the 2-2. breaking ball just missed the outer edge. A good eye from Klingenbeck.
Want to get the leadoff man here if you're Will Newell. Set the tone for a good outing.
Full count. Newell takes a deep breath, fires, and that misses inside on a breaking ball. A leadoff walk for Klingenbeck. Last night in the Upper Valley, the SwampBats pitchers struggled a little bit with the free bases with 5 walks given up. And there's one to Klingenbeck, the first of tonight.
Newell doesn't walk too many, though. That's only his second walk in 7 innings this season.
Let's see if he can get back on track against Dylan Palmer. Palmer doubled his first time up in the second, but was caught stealing home on a double steal attempt with Kavanaugh getting in there at second, but he was well put out by Greg Bazzo at home plate. First offering, foul tip into the glove for strike 1.
Palmer's come to life offensively these last 2 games. A double yesterday and a double today. Came into yesterday hitting 105.
Newell nods his head, the 0-1. Fastball inside, called strike.
I'm not sure why Palmer backed out of that one. It appeared to be in the strike zone.
0-2 now to Palmer. Looking to keep his offense going. Last night, delivered a double, stretched it, a hustle double with his speed. The 0-2, big swing and a miss. Well out in front of it.
Yeah, I was going to say way out in front of what might have been a changeup out of the hand of Newell.
80 miles per hour from Newell, the strong throwing righty. Took something off of that one. 1 away here in this top of the 4th, and now Darius Myers to the plate. First pitch, fouled up and out of play. Myers is 1 for 2, a home run solo shot back in the first, and a ground out to short in the second inning. Already the third time through the order for the leadoff man. The 0-1, taking off, Klingenbeck to second, the throw, not in time. Bazzo was on the line, but Kevin Jourdain out there, J.C. Fernandez calls Klingenbeck safe. That was close, Jonah.
Very close play, but he got there evidently with a head-first dive ahead of Padilla's tag, his first stolen base of the season.
Man in scoring position now, a 1-1 count with 1 out here in this top of the 4th. The 1-1 to Myers. Fastball upstairs. Myers with that home run in the first inning. Now a 10-game hitting streak to start off the season. The only Nighthawk to hit safely in every game so far. And that was the first time it wasn't a single out of his team-leading 12 hits as he chops one foul left side. We'll do this again. 2-2 the count with Klingenbeck standing at second. Newell steps and fires. Fouled away just barely on the breaking ball.
Yeah, good pitch from Will. Myers just able to get a piece of it and stay alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Dangling the arm is Newell out on the mound. Set at the belt. Now the 2-2 on the way. Chopped up the middle. Shortstop Cordova, the throw on the run. Gets him there. Klingenbeck will advance to third on the play. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Good job by Cordova. I knew that ball was hit hard enough where he, even though he had to charge it, he grabbed it and threw on the run, but he waited. He gave himself an extra beat as he was on the run to make sure he had a good grip on that ball and made a good throw to first base.
Ethan Kavanaugh now will get settled in. He's reached base twice today, one on an error, one on a hit by pitch. Kavanaugh still looking to get going early in this season. First offering misses high. 4 games coming into this one with only 2 hits, 2 runs, and an RBI. Now the 1-0. Fastball down the pipe for a strike. Evens it up 1-1 with 2 outs. Klingenbeck 90 feet away. Newell delivers. Off speed, catches the outer half for a strike.
Good pitch.
78 on the gun. Now he's quickly ready. Newell delivers. High chopper. Cordova is there at short again. The throw to first in time to end the inning. No hits for the Nighthawks and clean work for the SwampBats as they leave a runner stranded. Still 3-0 Upper Valley, and we'll head to the bottom of the 4th. You're watching the NECBL baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 on the NECBL network.
Watch me do my thing. I said, watch me do my shake, shake. Woo! Watch me do my thing. I said, watch me do my shake, shake.
On the 4th, a 3-0 lead for Upper Valley. And it will face the top half of the lineup, 2-3-4 for the SwampBats. Brian Padilla will start things off. Padilla 0 for 1 tonight. Grounded out to second in the first. Mesla is ready to go, the first offering in there for a strike. It has been efficient work for Luis Mesla so far, just 36 pitches thrown here in the 4th as the 0-1 is fouled back into the netting from Padilla. Quickly 0-2. Mesla, a couple shakes of the head. Now the southpaw comes set, slings it. Fastball high and away. Mesla coming into this appearance had 3 appearances before this start, but this is the first start of this season as the 1-2 is lined to short and right to Chris Worcester for out number 2. Out number 1 here in this bottom of the 4th. And so far in his first start of the summer, it's been very solid, very efficient work, getting help from his defense, just like that play from Worcester at short. Now Devin Taylor to the plate, breaking ball in there for a strike. Make it 0-1 with 1 out. Mesla, the 0-1 on the way, in the dirt. This past season, at Hudson Valley Community College, a 4.15 ERA. That was good for 4th on the team. And the biggest thing about him was the strikeouts. 82 punchies, 2nd on the team, a 15.48 strikeout per 9 innings rate. The 1-1 high fly and foul ground left side, but out of play. So far in this game, 2 strikeouts looking for Misla, who's transferring over to Cortland D3 school next year. Now the 1-2 on the ground and up the middle. Through for a base hit. And Taylor keeps that hot bat going. He's on for a 1-out single. Devin Taylor, we touched on it before the broadcast, one of 2 SwampBats in the lineup batting over 200, and he contributes right there. That is the first hit of the game for the SwampBats. Prior to that, they reached via 2 errors as the first pitch is in there for a strike to Garrett Rice. So you got to start somewhere, and they do here in this bottom half of the 4th. The 0-1 to Rice. Grounded left side, but foul. Rice lined out to Misla. A hard shot comebacker back in the 2nd. He's in the hole 0-2 here. Misla set on the rubber. Deals. Grounded to short. Worcester backhand stab. Gets it to 2nd for 1 to 1st, not in time. Great defensive play by Chris Worcester on the backhanded glove. And he retires Devin Taylor at 2nd, but Rice in time over there at 1st. Fielder's choice. Two away now for Matt Brown-Earing. Brown-Earing grounded out to 3rd his first time up, as the first offering, a fastball swing and a miss. Keene just has to string together some at-bats. The 0-1 fastball high. He got that hot man in Devin Taylor on the base pass, but he was retired. They're going to have to start over here. The 1-1 took something off of it, swing and a miss. 1-2 the count now. Misla trying to make it 4 strong. The 1-2 low on a fastball. The lefty bouncing on the mound. Now he collects himself. Steps and deals. Just off the plate. Now taking off for 2nd in there, sliding safely is Rice. Klingenbeck paused for a moment there as he was probably looking to frame that pitch, try to get the strikeout. And it was sort of a delayed steal from Rice as Klingenbeck was trying to get the call. It's now a full count after the ball. The pitch swung on but fouled back from Brown-Earing. Brown-Earing in last night's game in White River Junction went 1 for 3 in RBI. That hit was the last for Keene in the ball game. That was in the bottom of the 2nd. Trying to contribute here. Payoff pitch. Got him looking. To end the inning, Luis Misla strands the runner at 2nd. 3rd strikeout of the night. And Upper Valley still cruising a 3-0 lead after 4. And we'll head to the bottom of the 5th. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 on the NECBL network.
Curious about the awesome talent Kelly has? Well, here are some robotics specialists. This group works in telecom on 5G. They work on autonomous vehicles. Those are education professionals. Oh, and system analysts, contact center reps, biologists. There's data scientists, substitute teachers, mechanical engineers, not to mention people who work on-site and off-site. Kelly's got top talent in specialized and emerging skill sets, ready to help your business prepare for what's next.
NECBL Network, Jonah Krell with Jonah White. A 3-0 lead for the Nighthawks. And Will Newell still on the bump. He'll face Steve Harrington to start things off. Harrington, so far, 2 strikeouts swinging. Newell kicks and deals. Fastball outside. Now the 1-0 on the way. Another heater. Cuts inside and misses. Harrington, known to work good at bats and get on in different ways as the 2-0 in there for a strike. High in the zone. Those 2 strikeouts adds to a team lead with 15 now on the season. The 2-1. Swing and a miss. Way out in front of that one. Change up from Newell. He's flashed that off-speed pitch a couple times here. Makes it 2-2. He slings. Outside on another breaker. Full count now. Nobody out. A 3-0 lead for the Nighthawks here in the top of the 5th. Newell steps, deals, and that's fouled off at home plate from Harrington. 77 miles per hour. Just got a piece of that slider. Nighthawks looking to get some offense going. It's been crickets since the first. Payoff pitch. High fly. Deep right field. Going back of the wall. And it drops down at the base of the wall. Harrington racing for second. And he'll stop there. A double leads things off here in the top of the 5th from Steve Harrington. Had a double last night against the SwampBats. That was driven opposite field. This time he pulls it to right. And it dropped down just at the base of the wall. The right fielder, Devin Taylor, had to take a couple steps to get to it and collect it. Gave Harrington enough time. He's not the fastest guy out there to get over to second base. Now the first offering to right, and Cesarini lined and down in center field. Harrington advances to third. Runners at the corners for the Nighthawks in business with nobody out. Just solid contact hitting. That time Cesarini attacking the fastball there. And it'll bring up now Chris Worcester. First time since the second inning, the Nighthawks have had 2 runners on base at the same time. Now we'll get a mound visit for Newell, trying to settle him down. Pitching coach Hunter Cooley out there. And Cooley, it's amazing, he's looking up at his hurler right there. Newell 6'6", out on the bump. And he'll look to settle things down against Chris Worcester. Still nobody out. Nighthawks threatening. Worcester getting set to go now in the right-hander's batter's box. Newell dangles the arm, set at the belt. First offering on the way, and Cesarini takes off for second, no throw. Another stolen base for Ryan Cesarini. That's now his fourth. Good for second on the team. 2 runners in scoring position now. Newell really needs to get some guys to retired. 1-0. Pass ball way inside as Worcester ducks away. Newell in a jam. Needs to find a way to work out of it. 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball low and away as the catcher Bozzo has to reach into the other batter's box to snag that one.
First base open here. Madliak's on deck. He doesn't have a hit yet this season. Walk got the worst thing for SwampBats. We're still not looking for it.
Nobody out as well. The 3-0. Outside and high once again. It's bases loaded. And just like you said there, Jonah, a walk doesn't make it much worse. It's bases loaded now, but a force out at all 3 bases at this point now.
The way the offense has been going for the SwampBats, you don't really want to concede another run. Corners in, middle back.
First offering to Madliak. Breaking ball low and inside. Had Madliak's white cleats dusted, full of brown dirt at this point. Harrington at third, Cesarini at second, and Worcester at first. Newell, the 1-0 on the way, inside. 77 miles per hour, can't find the zone on the off-speed pitch.
And that would be a great time for Madliak to get his first hit of the season, but on 2-0, he probably won't be looking to do that after the walk to the previous hitter.
6 straight balls thrown by Newell. The pitch. Chopper to third. They go home for 1 to first for 2. Big double play for the SwampBats.
Nice job by Goforth to backhand it. Great job by Bozzo on the turn, but you got to ask the question, what are you doing there on a 2-0 count grounding into a double play?
I mean, I'm sure that wasn't his intent, but it just worked out like that. A 5-2-3 uncharacteristic double play that Madliak grounds out into. Perfect execution after some fielding troubles early on in this game. They clean it up right there and make up for it. Now the first offering to Garrett Pike. Breaking ball in for a strike. Cesarini now stands as the lone runner. Worcester's at second, so they still have 2 runners on, but with 2 outs. Cesarini at third, Worcester at second. Garrett Pike, 1 for 2, a single. Back in the first. The 0-1 from Newell. Hard chopper fouled down the first base line.
Already down 3-0. This would be huge for the SwampBats if Newell can get out of this bases loaded, no out jam.
And
Maybe
they
a
need
momentum
to at this
boost
point.
as well.
They need to at this point, keeping the score as is with the offense just not getting going at all. Newell ahead in the count, 0-2. Steps and deals. Hard liner to left. And that drops down for a base hit all the way to the wall. Cesarini scores. Worcester is in. And Pike, 2 RBI double. Stay hot, Garrett Pike. An RBI back in the first. And 2 RBIs here in the fourth. It's 5-0 Upper Valley.
Nice piece of hitting there by Pike. Got a ball in the bottom half of the zone at 86 miles an hour. Drives it to the left center field gap. He's now got a 3 RBI day. RBIs 5, 6, and 7 on the season.
Pike stands at second. Still 2 outs, and now Corey Klingenbeck. Newell almost got out of the inning as the first pitch is high for a ball.
So now 5-0 Nighthawks here in the top of the 5th.
1-0 count with 2 outs. Newell delivers. Fastball swung on, high and deep, left field. Brown Earring going back to the track, and he makes the catch. And that'll end the inning. A deep scare, but retired. The Nighthawks do put some more runs home. A 5-0 lead off a 2 RBI double from Garrett Pike. And we'll take a break and go to the bottom of the 5th. You're listening to the NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
First thing Bruce felt was quality, the consistency, knowing that when I take them out, they're going to be the same every time. And the second was to be able to see kids all over the country wearing the gloves that I designed. That's one of the coolest parts of this.
Top half of the 5th on a 2 RBI Garrett Pike double. It's 5-0 now in favor of Upper Valley. And Greg Bozzo will now step up to the plate trying to do something. Once again, Jonah, that offense just has yet to deliver at this point in the game.
Yeah, it's nothing new here for the SwampBats. Disappointing to be down 5-0, but a lot of that because of some frustrating defense in the first inning. Hit your starting pitcher out of the game after 3 batters. And the SwampBats have just managed 1 hit against Luis Misla through 4 innings. You know what? Now would be a good time for a big inning if you're a SwampBat.
Let's see if they can get it with Greg Bozzo to start things off. 6, 7, 8. 2 up to start things off. First pitch to Bozzo. Fastball high and outside. Misla has been strong through 4, only 1 hit given up, as that's a ground ball right back up to Misla, who gloves it and throws to first in time.
That's a great job by Misla. Lefty getting off the mound on the third base side with the PFP. And pitchers will tell you nothing they love more than that.
Absolutely. Had to reach over as he's now smiling out on first base, on the mound, knowing, hey, I kind of made a good heads-up play there. 1 away now for Blake DeLamalure. DeLamalure struck out looking. Back in the second. The first pitch, high and deep drive to left field. Myers going back, gone. And that'll do for the SwampBats to get on the board and get that offense going. A solo home run for DeLamalure makes it 5-1.
It's his team leading 3rd of the season. Jumped on a curveball from Misla and knocked it straight over the left field fence.
96 miles per hour off the bat. Travels 372 feet. Now let's see if they can get that offense going after that blast from DeLamalure. The first pitch misses upstairs to Ramses Cordova. 1-0. Breaking ball in for a strike on the bottom of the zone. Cordova reached in the 3rd on an error from Madliak, but was thrown out on the double play. Swing and a miss. Fastball gets them to chase there. That home run from DeLamalore. Just the second hit of the game for Keene. They are waiting for that big swing. 1-2. Skipped in the dirt, blocked by a Klingenbeck. Miesla, 3 shakes of the head, and now he's ready to go. The southpaw slings. Slider, called strike 3.
Beautiful backdoor slider from Miesla. His 4th strikeout.
That is filthy stuff from Miesla. Got Cordova to stand like a statue. 2 down. And now Evan Goforth will look to keep the inning going for Keene. Goforth struck out looking back in the 3rd. And by the way, all 4 of the strikeouts have been looking for Miesla as that breaking ball is in for strike 1. Just gets guys to freeze with that slider. 0-1. Swing and a miss. Again, the breaking ball gets him to swing out of his shoes right there. 0-2. Miesla, set, deals. Went back to the breaker, and Goforth laid off. One-two on the way. Breaking ball again. He gets the call that time. Miesla, his 5th strikeout of the game. All 5 looking. DeLamalore gets the SwampBats on the board with the solo home run, but nothing else. 5-1 lead for Upper Valley. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network. We're through 5.
Keene SwampBats Baseball on the NECBL Network is brought to you by Duncan, Timken, Ted's Shoe and Sport, C&S Wholesale Grocers, Raider Dental, Corning, Service Credit Union, the Keene Sentinel, the Greater Keene and Peterborough Chamber, connecting business and community, U.S. Cellular, Coca-Cola, Monadnock Broadcasting Group, Savings Bank of Walpole, the savings bank of you, Monadnock Ford, Fidium Fiber Internet, Yanos Technology, Fenton Family Dealerships, Hertskirt, American House, Fairfield, making memories since 1904, Fraser & Son Furniture, ICU Medical, M&T Bank, Mascoma Bank.
6. A new pitcher is on for Keene. It's Tyler Tornborg, the senior righty from Bryant. Jonah, what can you tell me about Tyler?
Ryan, 6'2", 205, senior Bryant from Chatham, New Jersey. On the season, 3 appearances out of the pen, 4 innings, 4 hits, 3 runs, 3 earned, 4 walks, 3 strikeouts. No record at a 6.75 ERA. He comes in for Will Newell, who pitched the 4th and 5th. Will with 2 innings. He allowed 3 hits and 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and 1 strikeout.
Newell almost got out of a bases-loaded jam. Had a double play, but then a 2 RBI double from Garrett Pike to plate 2. And that's the end of his outing. Tyler Tornborg looks to have a clean sheet this time around. Tornborg will face 9-1-2 due up for Upper Valley. And now to the plate, it's Dylan Palmer.
Ideally for Tornborg, he'd get a 1-2-3 inning here, because if he doesn't, he'll face Steve Harrington, who hit a 3-run home run off him on opening night.
That was the first home run for the Nighthawks. Only 3 home runs on the season, as the first pitch is fouled away from Palmer.
So now half of the home runs for the Nighthawks this season have come here at Alumni Fields in their game and a half.
Taking advantage of the friendly confines, that's for sure. 0-1. Fastball chopped right side. And the first baseman, Rice, goes over to Tornberg at first, and Palmer beats it out.
That's a tough play with an extremely fast runner. Rice had to vacate the bag in order to reach that ball. Tornberg tried to get over to cover, just didn't get there in time. It'll be an infield single for Dylan Palmer, his second base hit of the game.
Dylan Palmer, with his speed, gets on in any way he can. Now, another speedster in Darius Myers. First pitch in there for a strike. Tornberg looks over at Palmer. Always a threat on the base pass. 0-1 on the way, and Palmer takes off. It's a wild pitch all the way to the backstop. Palmer sprinting for third. The throw in time. Great recovery from the catcher, Greg Bozzo. Goes all the way to the backstop and retires Palmer, who tested his luck sprinting for third.
Stolen base for Palmer and then thrown out 2-5. Nice job on both ends here. Palmer and Goforth doing exactly what you're taught to do there. Just lay down the tag and let Palmer slide into it, which he did.
1-2 is laced right back to Rice at first base and caught. So now on back-to-back plays, the SwampBats record an out, 2 away. And now up to the plate, Ethan Kavanaugh. Kavanaugh tonight, he's reached on an error, a hit by pitch, and then a ground out to short, as the first pitch is in there for a strike on the high outside corner. Tornberg set, delivers low on the fastball. Tornberg, a transfer from Rutgers. 1-1 fouled away. Didn't appear in a game for the Scarlet Knights. Also spent a year at County College of Morris. But this past year, he finally got a chance at Bryant. Appeared in 16 games. The 1-2. Breaking ball in the dirt. Finished a 6.63 ERA in 19 innings with 16 strikeouts. 2-2. Chopped right side. Padilla scoops it up, throws, and in time at first. So one hit for the Nighthawks, but nothing else. No runs, no errors, and still a 5-1 lead. And we'll head to the bottom of the 6th. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
At M&T Bank, we believe in the power of together. Together, we can help your business grow. Together, we can move communities forward while giving back. Together, we can help your family spend more time on what matters most. And together, we can achieve more than ever before.
Goldman has had a strong start to the summer, a 1.92 ERA in 4 appearances, but short stints in those appearances, 4 2/3, only 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. And Misla's day is done, and that was a strong one, Jonah.
Yeah, Misla, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 run earned, no walks, 5 strikeouts. Very good first start of the season for the lefty.
And now Goldman will get set to go, facing the top of the lineup with Jordan Smith to start things off in the leadoff spot. The righty slings it. Fastball low. Goldman, a 2-time transfer, one from Palomar College and another time from Grossmont College, as the fastball misses upstairs. Native of San Diego, California. (2-0) to Smith. Fouled off at home plate, and it looked like it got a piece of one of his feet right there.
So I'm going to toss my headset over to our operations intern extraordinaire, Trevor Pearson, who will take over the play-by-play for the 7th and 8th inning.
All right, so Trevor comes on board. A nice little shift in power, if you might say. Trevor, it's good to be with you.
I think there's too many Jonahs on this broadcast, so it's good that we're down to 1 now.
Yeah, it definitely eliminates some confusion. It's a 2-1 count here to Jordan Smith, who's 0 for 2 tonight. Last time up, grounded into a double play to end the third. The pitch, and just nicked him. Looks like on the leg. So the leadoff man reaches here for Keene. Not the best start for Goldman. He'll look to clean things up against Brian Padilla. Goldman set on the mound. First offering. Fastball in there for a strike. Padilla tonight 0 for 2 as well. Only 2 hits for the home SwampBats. The 0-1 swung on and fouled right back.
Top of the order being so far this game very ineffective as the 2 leadoff hitters, first 2 hitters, 0 for 4 to this point.
That top half needs to get something going for this slumping Keene offense. The 0-2. Fastball on the ground to Worcester at short. He goes to Kavanaugh at second for 1 to first. Double play. 6-4-3 to perfection right there.
Another double play hit into for the SwampBats. It's been a problem all season. Lack of ability to advance runners from first to second has really hurt the team.
And the offensive woes continue for the SwampBats. 2 down. Up to the plate now, Devin Taylor. That's the second double play of the ball game for this Nighthawks infield, who has been stellar defensively to start off the season. First pitch is bounced at home plate to Taylor, who has one of those 2 hits in this ball game, a single, but they couldn't get anything going after that. It was a 6-4 putout at second base.
Yeah, in the 4th he broke up Misla's no-hitter, but SwampBats were not able to do anything with it.
1-0, chopper right side, but foul. For Jordan Goldman on the mound, really sticks to the fastball. Last summer played for the Syracuse Spartans, venturing all the way out to the New York Collegiate League. The San Diego native has traveled a distance, has the 1-1 upstairs. A lot of these players, Trevor, from the area, but Goldman is the farthest Nighthawk away from the team.
Yeah, you notice a lot of players in this area and some down south, but you don't often see from the West Coast.
Absolutely. 2-1, breaking ball, misses on the inner half. this past season at Lemoyne, a 6.41 ERA for Goldman in 13 appearances, a usual starter for them with 9 starts, 50-plus innings. The 3-1 upstairs as the fastball missed away again. Another man reaches for Keene.
Good to see another batter get on Taylor once again, but with 2 outs, see if SwampBats can actually do something with it.
And this is the guy you want up at the plate, right? Garrett Rice, one of your heavy hitters on the team, reached back in the 4th on a fielder's choice, stole a base, but was left stranded. Goldman set at the belt, first offering a bouncer, but snagged by Klingenbeck, and he keeps an eye on Taylor at first base.
Joe, and as you mentioned, Rice is currently leading the team in RBIs with 9, a wide margin over the next hitter.
But just batting 194 as the pitch, swing and a miss. Fastball in the dirt, Rice couldn't hold off. Makes it 1-1.
Not the pitch you want to be swinging at there if you're Rice.
Taylor thought about stealing. Let's see if he tries it this time. Has a pretty good leadoff and a check over at first as I say that, just to keep him at bay.
I was thinking the same thing as you, Jonah.
Why not? You know, you're down 4 runs. You need to get someone in scoring position. 1-1. Fastball upstairs. Goldman struggling a little bit to find the zone here.
Not the best count to run if you're Taylor. Expecting probably some heat here versus an off-speed pitch, but I still wouldn't be surprised if you went.
Hitters count for Rice. The pitch. Swung on in foul ground behind home plate. Klingenbeck charges after it to the fencing. And that'll just go foul.
You know, off the bat, that looked like it might stay in play, but it just kept drifting and drifting foul. Ended up behind home plate fence where all the fans sit.
You called it a fastball, but jammed him inside. Rice now gets settled back in. Klingenbeck in his stance behind the dish. Goldman the 2-2. Misses on the inner half. Full count.
Just missed there. Good pitch from Goldman. Just missing inside.
Rice, can he keep the inning going? Payoff pitch on the ground to third. Madliak scoops it, but it's past his glove, and Rice will reach the 3rd error by Bear Madliak at third.
Something brewing here for the SwampBats. There are 2 outs, but a runner in scoring position now and another runner on first. Matt Browniering looking to get the SwampBats another run on the board.
Madliak has been all sorts of struggles at the hot corner. Again, the first time playing the position since last summer.
It's a tough position if you don't play it very often.
Absolutely. Need to get a lot of reps in there to feel comfortable. First pitch, hard liner down the left field line, but just foul.
Oh.
Brutal for Matt Browniering. That could have put the SwampBats right back in the game.
With 2 outs, runners were running off the crack of the bat. Probably would have scored both, but landed just foul for Matt Browniering.
Scorched off the bat, but just probably less than a foot from foul. I mean, that was extremely close. 92 off the bat. 0-1. Fastball high and away. Browniering, a strikeout looking in the 4th, and a ground out to third. Back in the 2nd. Big spot for Keene here. Ducks on the pond. 2 down here in the bottom of the 6th. The pitch. Fastball inside.
After that initial pitch, which was rocketed by Browniering, Goldland has really not thrown strikes to him. Maybe a little rattled by that initial strike.
12 balls to 9 strikes here in this first inning of work for Goldman. 2-1. Checked his swing as the pitch missed high. 3-1 now.
Some shouts from the Upper Valley dugout. Don't think they were the biggest fan of that ball call.
Goldman chomping on the gum. Slings it. Again high. And that is ball 4. Bases loaded now. Chad Sturgeon, pitching coach for the Nighthawks, will take a stroll out and visit with his pitcher. This just is a huge moment for Keene right now. Greg Bozzo will step up to the plate, and this is the guy you want up at the plate for Keene. Bozzo, the team leader in average, Trevor.
Yeah, Bozzo's been excellent so far this year. He's splitting time with the other catcher, Jackson Owen, and he did show up a little bit later than some of the other players on the team, so limited at-bats, but in those at-bats, he's been very productive. Huge spot here for the SwampBats.
Bozzo is 0 for 1. He reached in the second, though, on an error from Bear Madliak. The first of 3 for the Jacksonville State catcher. Trying something new here tonight. Sturgeon back to the dugout. And Goldman set to face Bozzo. First pitch. Fastball grounded and foul down the third base line. He was set on that fastball, just a little bit late.
He's ready to go first pitch on that. Grounded it weakly down the third base line. Get another chance at it.
Goldman standing out there with the high blue socks up to his knees. The 0-1, fastball swung on, popped up and foul ground. Klingenbeck tosses the mask, makes the catch to end the inning. So Goldman lives dangerously, but gets out of the jam, leaves 3 runners stranded, and no runs come home for the SwampBats. A missed opportunity. 5-1, Nighthawks lead it, and we'll head to the top of the 7th. When we come back, you're listening to the NECBL Network and Pure Oldies 104.1.
At Keene State College, life is an adventure. You'll forge your path forward. As an owl, you'll take on challenges in the classroom, field, court, or track. Every worthwhile adventure has its share of blood, sweat, and tears. It takes hard work and dedication. No owl flies alone on their journey at Keene State. Teammates, coaches, professors, alumni, and fellow owls are with you along the way. They lift you up as you continue forward. When you're part of Owl Nation, you become the person you truly want to be.
Here, we head to the top of the 7th. Nighthawks leading the SwampBats 5-1 on a beautiful night here at Alumni Field in Keene. Tyler Tornberg returns to the mound for another inning. The lineup for the Nighthawks will be Harrington, Cesarini, and Worcester.
Let's see if Tyler Tornberg can continue to shape up and throw good stuff for the Keene SwampBats. The past 3 pitchers have struggled a little bit, and Tornberg, 1 inning, clean frame back in the 6th.
The first pitch is driven into the left field gap. Matt Brown-Earing heads over, makes the catch, a nice running catch from Brown-Earing, and runs it down for the first out.
Yeah, quickly closed that gap out in left center field. Harrington was ready for it, ready for the fastball, but a line drive, not enough air on it, and Brown Earring able to track it down.
Hard hit ball there, but was able to get the first out there. Now batting is the DH Ryan Cesarini. Number 10 is in the box. The first pitch, high and away. 1-0. Cesarini so far tonight reached on an error by second baseman Padilla. Hits a ball hard into right field on a line just past the glove of first baseman Garrett Rice. It will be a single for Cesarini.
Once again, seeing fastball and just gets it through that 4-3 hole past the diving glove of Rice. Cesarini just continues to hit. He's now got, if I can do the quick math for me, 8 hits in the last 3 games.
He's on a nice stretch there, and that was another hard hit ball. The Nighthawks hitters jumping all over Tornberg's pitches so far this inning. Ground ball, hit to second, could be a double play ball, looks to second, doesn't throw, throws to first, and they get the second out of the inning. Padilla there took a shot, took a look at second, decided not to throw and just get the easy one at first. And there will be a runner on second with 2 outs. Now batting is the third baseman, aforementioned third baseman, Bear how do you pronounce that one, Jonah? Madliak.
It's a tough one.
That's a tough one. The 0-0 from Tornberg, the pitch. Hits him on the hand, was it?
Yeah, the wrist, hand area, and he is wincing.
Third base coach Matt Paws walks over to check on him. A little shaken up there is Madliak.
89-mile-per-hour heater landed right on the wrist.
Looked like an inside fastball. Bear almost checked his swing on it, maybe thinking it was an off-speed pitch that was going to break into the zone. Ended up getting hit right on the wrist, but he'll head down to first after shaking it off, and there will be first and second for the Nighthawks here in the top of the 7th.
He's getting all sorts of dinged up tonight. That's the second hit by pitch for Madliak.
Stepping into the box is Garrett Pike, the right fielder tonight. So far, he has singled, struck out, and doubled. Pretty productive night to this point. Runners on first and second lead. The pitch driven up the middle over Tornberg. Hit to center fielder Smith. They're sending the runner home. The throw, the tag, safe, just late. Smith made a nice throw in, just a little bit late. Was not able to guess Cesarini at the plate, and the Nighthawks take a 6-1 lead.
Yeah, a great throw in from center. Smith delivered a dart, but it hopped, and Bozzo had to reach up with his glove, snag it in, and because of that adjustment at the last second, allowed Cesarini to get in there safely.
Absolutely a close play, but definitely safe at the plate, and we have first and second again here for the new batter, Klingenbeck, the catcher out of Cincinnati. I don't know if you noticed, Jonah, but I think they've swung at the first pitch in almost all these at-bats here. They're hopping all over whatever Tornberg is throwing, ready to go. The pitch, right down the pipe, strike one. He was not looking for that first pitch.
But, yeah, everyone has been aggressive, just getting on these fastballs from Tornberg, attacking. You got to love it if you're the Nighthawks here. Offense has exploded here.
It's been effective so far. Tornberg pitches the 0-1, low and in the dirt. 1-1. Once again here, Nighthawks lead the SwampBats 6-1 in the top of the 7th. 1 run across so far this inning. Runners at first and second and 2 outs. Tornberg has the glove at the wrist. He delivers the pitch. Ball inside in the dirt once again. The batter Klingbeck holds up his hand to Madliak on second, saying, "Do not advance." Catcher has it, and we have a 2-1 count.
What a night for Garrett Pike, by the way. That's now his 4th RBI of this game.
And 3 for 4. The 2-1 pitch from Tornberg. Just high on outside. Catcher Greg Bozzo tried to make the frame, but the ump was not having it, and it goes to 3-1. Big spot here, and do not want to walk The base is loaded here. The pitch. Swung on and missed. A good pitch there from Tornberg, and it goes to 3-2. Three balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Madliak leads off second. Pike leads off first. The 3-2 pitch. Called strike 3, and Tornberg gets out of the inning without any more damage. We head to the bottom of the 7th. Nighthawks 6, SwampBats 1. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network. Blake DeLamillaire, Ramses Cordova, and Evan Goforth. Jonah, let's take a look around the NECBL. Who else is playing tonight?
Yeah, the Newport Gulls have a 7-0 lead over the Valley Blue Sox. That's in the bottom of the 6th. North Adams Steeplecats, how about this? The 1 and I believe 11 now, North Adams Steeplecaps are up 4-3 over the Ocean State Waves in the top of the 5th. Let's hope that they can break that 10-game losing streak. Still a long way to go there. A 1-1 score between Sanford and Bristol. That's in the 8th inning. Potential extras. Top of the 8th, 2-2 between Martha's Vineyard and Danbury. That could also go extras. And then here, of course, 6-1 in favor of Upper Valley. This one's likely not going in extras.
You know, I don't think so, but who knows? There's still some time left, still 9 outs left for the SwampBats to get back in it, but they're going to have to start here and get something going. Coming up to the plate is DeLamillaire. He has been the offense tonight. In the 5th inning, he had a solo shot over the left field fence for the SwampBats' only run. Let's see if he can get something going.
Yeah, he torched that ball. I believe it was a fastball driven well over that left field fence.
Swung on the first pitch, ball low and in the dirt, 0-1.
Wanted the same result there, but couldn't connect.
I think he was swinging for the fences there, but that was not the pitch to be doing it with. Goldman comes to the stretch, gloves at the waist, delivers the pitch. Inside, DeLamillaire gets out of the way of that, and it'll be ball 1. Goes to 1-1. DeLamillaire so far this season, that was his 3rd home run and his 6th extra base hit. Has been very productive in that area, but also adding a lot of strikeouts to this point. The 1-1 pitch is high, 2-1.
By the way, a fielding change for the Nighthawks as Pat D'Amico comes in at 3rd base, replacing Bear Madliak, who struggled with 3 errors on the night.
The 2-1 pitch. Swung on, driven to 3rd, ground ball, goes a little bit foul, just foul. 3rd baseman, you just mentioned the new 3rd baseman, D'Amico, made a play on the ball, but the umpire ruled it foul, and we have a 2-2 count. I think the Nighthawks had enough of those errors. Didn't want to have any more of those and put a real 3rd baseman at 3rd for the last 3 innings. The 2-2, ground ball at almost the exact same spot, and we'll do it over again.
Yeah, Matt Paz was trying to see what he has. You know, there really is only one true third baseman on this team, and Pat D'Amico gave Bear Madliak a shot, but maybe he's better suited for behind the dish.
And clearly the Nighthawks offense has been able to overcome those errors.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the pitching staff as well. The 2-2, fouled almost the exact same spot. Third base coach Sean McKenna does a little dance to get out of the way of that one. And we'll do 2-2 for the third time. Impressive dance moves over there.
Yeah, I mean, you got to be elusive if you're a manager, especially at the hot corner.
2-2 now on Delamelier. Goldman sets, kicks the pitch, driven into left field, high fly ball. Shortstop goes back, left fielder comes in, and he makes the play. Is Myers, and that will be the first out of the inning. A long at bat for Delamelier, but nothing to show for it.
Good fight right there from Blake, but fastball got him in on the hands, forced that shallow fly.
Coming to the plate now for the SwampBats is Ramses Cordova, the shortstop. So far in his 2 plate appearances, he reached on an error, another error by Bear at third, and struck out looking. Number 5 has his hands high in the box, the pitch, low and inside. From Goldman, 1-0. Taps the plate with his bat. A wide stance from Cordova. In the right-hander's batter's box. The 1-0. Fouled off behind home plate, heading for the concessions area, and it's 1-1. (6-1) here, Nighthawks, SwampBats. We're in the bottom of the 7th, the 1-1. Fouled off. Goes down the first base line. Had some weird backspin on it. Almost looked like it would go back into fair territory. It was deep foul territory. Some weird backspin on that one, Jonah.
Yeah, got him on the inside part of the bat and just sort of spun off of it in an interesting direction, like you said.
In the end, it's just a strike, and it's 1-2 on Ramses. The right-hander delivers. Grounded to shortstop. Third baseman cuts him off, makes the play, and he is out. D'Amico, fresh into the game, makes the put-out, records the put-out, and it's 2 outs now here in the bottom of the 7th.
That's what Pat D'Amico can do over there. Calls off the shortstop, a slow roller, and still has enough time to fire it over to first. He has been really solid at third base so far this season, and overall the Nighthawks have just been really good at limiting the errors, besides the errors tonight by Madliak. But overall, the fielding percentage has been strong, as that's a first pitch strike to Evan Goforth.
Goforth, the new batter, has batted 2 times, strikeout looking both times, looking to improve here. You mentioned on that last play, he almost fielded that ball at shortstop. A really nice play, the 0-1. Line drive caught by the second baseman to end the inning. Goforth got a nice piece of that. Second baseman Kavanaugh got over to the ball, caught it, and to finish the inning. Nighthawks 6, SwampBats 1. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
Vermont.com for more information.
Going to a ball game and going to a thrift store, 2 great American traditions. They are both great fun. At a thrift store, you can slide in and find.
Keene SwampBats Baseball on the NECBL Network is brought to you by Duncan, Timken, Ted's Shoe and Sport, C&S Wholesale Grocers, Raider Dental, Corning, Service Credit Union, the Keene Sentinel, the Greater Keene.
Alumni Field, 6-1 game here, heading to the 8th inning. Nighthawks lead the SwampBats 6-1, and what really has not been close
for pretty much the entire game, as the Nighthawks took a 3-0 lead right in the first inning.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head there. So far this game, so far this season, the Nighthawks haven't played a complete game yet. They've always put it on in spurts and having to scratch and claw their way to close victories. Tonight, though, it has been a complete domination so far through 7.
Absolutely. For the for the SwampBats, either the pitching shows up or the hitting shows up, but they haven't showed up at the same time yet. The 0-0 pitch, grounded to first. Garrett Rice fields it, takes it himself, and records the first out. Batting there was Palmer. Didn't have time to even let you know who, but Palmer grounds out to first for the first out of the inning. As we roll back to the top of the order, now batting will be a Darius Myers, the leadoff hitter for the Nighthawks. As previously mentioned, has a hit in the first 10 games of the season. 10-game hitting streak, very impressive to this point. The 0-0. Driven into right field, a looper. Taylor makes the play, gets under it. Off the bat, I wasn't quite sure if that was going to drop in over the second baseman, Padilla, but Taylor got a good jump on that ball, ran it down for the second out of the inning. 2 quick outs for Tornberg.
Yeah, Trevor, this has really been good, efficient stuff for Tornberg. Nighthawks swinging early on in the counts. Like you mentioned, that sort of just died a little bit in the air, but Taylor, well run, gets under it quickly.
Yeah, Taylor saw that ball right off the bat. Now batting for the Nighthawks, Kavanaugh strikes. Sees a strike down the middle, 0-1. Kavanaugh, the second baseman for the Nighthawks out of Troy. Tornberg comes to set. The pitch popped up, right field, foul territory, goes out of play, and it'll be 0-2.
And believe it or not, but this is actually an opportunity, the first time to retire the side in order here in this game. They have allowed a runner to reach in every inning except that one.
Yeah, the 0-2 pitch is swung on and missed by Kavanaugh, and they go down 1-2-3. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Nighthawks 6, SwampBats 1. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
Welcome to Hurt Skirt or Just Hurt. Our first contestant is suffering from knee pain from a recent running incident. What do we think, audience? Hurt Skirt or Just Hurt? Why not try Hurt Skirt? Make your recovery hassle-free with Hurt Skirt, a patent-pending, stretch-to-fit, hot-cold therapeutic sleeve, proven to stay cold longer and still remain completely mobile. Drop the ice, skirt the hurt.
In the bottom of the 8th here from Alumni Field in Keene, New Hampshire, the Nighthawks are leading the SwampBats 6-1. We have a new pitcher, Jonah. The new pitcher is Russell Hunter.
Yeah, Hunter, redshirt freshman righty from Hofstra, native of Croton-on-Hudson, New York. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm not a New England or Northeast native. But Hunter did not play last season for Hofstra, had a flexor pronator strain, and a mild UCL tear, so didn't get to play at all. I talked to him as he was coming to the team late, just recently signed, and he was itching to play, just see some live at-bats, live batters, and finally he has his opportunity. That is what summer ball is all about, Trevor.
Yeah, it'll be good to see him here. Oftentimes, the late innings of blowouts are used for pitchers who, coming off injuries, just getting back into the groove of things. So a perfect opportunity for the Nighthawks to get Hunter an opportunity here.
Russell Hunter, 88 miles per hour. It measures out for the fastball. And like we touched on, we don't really have much to go off of as he had struggled with injuries, didn't get to play at all this past year in his freshman season at Hofstra. But back in high school, pitched at Kennedy Catholic High School in Somers, New York, and 110th overall ranked recruit from the state of New York. Number 45 ranked righty. Also played first base and third base back in high school.
The right-hander to lead off the bottom of the 8th will face the top of the order for the SwampBats. Jordan Smith, Brian Padilla, and Devin Taylor. Smith steps into the right-hander's batter's box wearing the number 10. SwampBats wearing the purple jerseys tonight. So far this game, he has grounded out to second, hit into a double play, and was hit by a pitch in the 6th. The 0-0 in the dirt, swung on and missed. That ball landed on the plate, but Smith made an attempt at it, and it is 0-1.
Yeah, well off speed right there on the breaking ball, 79 miles per hour. And Smith was well out in front of it on the ball that landed in the dirt.
The 0-1. Swung on and missed. A fastball down the middle, swung over by Smith. Yeah, you mentioned the breaking ball there. I think he was looking for a fastball on the first pitch and swung right over it. Got a fastball second pitch and missed that one as well. We have the 0-2 pitch. Swung on, fouled off the catcher. Catcher shakes it off. Not quite sure if it hit him. Seems like it hit him maybe in the leg where he isn't covered by protective gear. Umpire walks the ball out to the pitcher, Hunter. Sign of respect there to give the catcher Klingenbeck a second. And it is 0-2 again.
Beautiful night here in Keene, New Hampshire. The clouds are the color pink. Sun starting to set. Really beautiful night.
That is one thing you see in New England. Great sunsets.
Attendance for tonight's game, 1,475. I don't know if that's accurate or not, but that is a crazy number. Great show here at Alumni Field.
The 0-2 pitch. Driven into left field, foul. Line drive. Heads into the left field bleachers. And we'll do 0-2 again. Yeah, you mentioned the crowds. Keene gets some pretty good crowds, especially compared to the rest of the NECBL. A smaller crowd here tonight, but they still show up nevertheless. The 0-2 pitch. High. 1-2.
Less of a crowd here tonight. Maybe that was different back in the first, but when a blowout, obviously fans shuffle out.
Also at Keene, there's a lot of kids playing behind the bleachers and in the
tarp.
back. Exactly.
Yeah.
So you look in the stands, there's actually more people here than show. The 1-2 pitch, driven to the left side of the infield. Shortstop comes around on the ball, makes the throw, and a nice play there from Worcester to record the first out of the inning.
Steve Worcester just makes it look easy. Like you said, came around on the ball, sort of circled, and a backhanded glove right there from Worcester. He has been really strong at shortstop so far this summer.
Made a difficult play look not difficult there. And the new batter will be, looks like a pinch hitter. Livermore is pinch hitting for Padilla here in the 8th inning. We'll see if it's a pinch hitter or he might even enter the game. Livermore can play second base where Padilla was playing tonight.
Tony Livermore 0-for-3 last night in the game against Upper Valley back in White River Junction. Got on with a walk.
Steps in the left-hander's batter box, grounds the first ball to first. First baseman Harrington fields it by himself, calls off the pitcher, steps on first, and there's 2 quick outs here in the bottom of the 8th.
Once again, Nighthawks just in complete control this game. The fielding has been impeccable. A lot of ground balls for this infield to work with, and they have just been clean. It has been impressive showing both in the field, on the mound, and in the batter's box.
Yeah, baseball's a lot easier when you make those routine plays and make the tough ones as well, but the routine ones just as important. To get outs when you should get outs. Taylor steps into the box. The 0-0 takes low. Devin Taylor, the 3-hitter out of Indiana, so far has flied out to left. Reached on a single, the first hit of the night for the SwampBats, and then walked in his third at-bat. The 1-0, grounded weakly back to the pitcher, throws over to first. 3 quick outs here for the SwampBats. We head to the 9th inning. Nighthawks 6, SwampBats 1. This is NECBL Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
said, watch me do my shake, shake. Woo! Watch me do my thing. I said, watch me do my shake, shake.
Back with you alongside Jonah Krell for the top of the ninth, where the Upper Valley Nighthawks have a 6-1 lead over the SwampBats. Tyler Tornberg, though, has done a real nice job in relief for the SwampBats. He came in for Will Newell to start the 6th inning. He's allowed just 1 run and 3 innings of work. Back on here for the top of the ninth, he'll face Steve Harrington, Ryan Cesarini, and Chris Worcester. 3, 4, and 5 at the Nighthawks batting order, starting with Harrington, who's 1 for 4 with a double. Upper Valley scored 3 in the first, 2 in the 5th, and 1 in the 7th. As the pitch is in the dirt, 1 ball and no strikes. SwampBats scored their lone run in the 5th inning on a solo homer from Blake DeLamelier. 9 hits for Upper Valley, just 2 for the SwampBats. Here's a line drive, sinking in center field. Diving is Smith, and he made the catch! Jordan Smith with an all-out dive to rob Harrington of a hit in center field.
Really great play by Smith. As that ball was falling fast, he knew he had to make a play on it, and a heads-up play to dive and steal a base hit from Harrington.
Jordan Smith is an excellent center fielder, gets good beats on a ball, and he's got blazing speed and athleticism, using all of it there to get the first out. Here's Ryan Cesarini. He takes up and away. 1 ball and no strikes on the left-hand batter from St. Joseph's, who's 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. The 1-0 from Torberg, down and in. 2 balls and no strikes. Well, even if the SwampBats aren't able to come back in the bottom of the ninth, Tyler Tornberg has done a really good job saving the rest of the bullpen so that the SwampBats won't be as short-handed as they might have been going into tomorrow and Saturday, where Tornberg not able to give the SwampBats this type of length out of the pen. 2-0 is in for a strike on Cesarini, 2-1.
Yeah, just 1 earned run given up back in that 7th. No walks. He's limited the free bases.
The pitch taken a little bit outside. 3 balls and 1 strike. Cesarini followed by Worcester. He's the 4-hitter. Tornberg's 3-1. Popped up left side. Foul ground. Waiting for it is Goforth. He makes a snow cone catch for out number 2. That will send Chris Worcester to the plate for the SwampBats. Worcester 0 for 3, but he scored twice, walked and hit into a fielder's choice. Takes high, ball 1 from Tornberg. SwampBats will have 4, 5, and 6. Rice, Brown, Earring, and Bazo due up in the bottom of the ninth, down by 5. Tornberg set. The 1-0. Line toward right, base hit. Passes second baseman Livermore, who's in for Padilla after pinch hitting. 2-out single for Chris Worcester.
Again, seeing the ball well right there and putting good barrel on it. Saw a fastball and just sliced it off the bat into right field. Chris Worcester, another good contact hitter in this lineup. Overall, just from top down, it's been such a great day offensively for Upper Valley. Every man from 1 to 9 has reached base tonight.
So here's Bear Matliak. He takes down low.
Actually, now Pat D'Amico pinch hitting for him after taking his spot in the field in the previous inning. Pat Paz saw enough of those errors and made the change.
Yeah, Madliak giving it a go at third base. He has 3 errors on the night. As the pitch is in for a strike, and it's 1-1 on D'Amico.
Nighthawks still looking for an offensive weapon at third base. D'Amico has struggled 2 for 19 this summer, as well as Madliak. Still waiting to see him get his first hit as a Nighthawk.
A 1-1 upstairs, 2-1. Quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard. 4 other games in the NECBL tonight. Sanford 2, Bristol 2, bottom of the 8th in Bristol. Martha's Vineyard 2, Danbury 2, bottom of the 9th in Danbury. Newport 7, Valley nothing, bottom of the 7th in Holyoke at the Blue Sox. The 2-1 to D'Amico, high, ball 3. North Adams 4, Ocean State 4, top of the 6th in Rhode Island. SwampBats will visit the Mystic Schooners for the first time this season tomorrow. A 3-1 in for called strike, as D'Amico thought it might have been ball 4 off the outside corner, but it's 3-2. Stick with us after the conclusion of this game for the SwampBats post-game show right here on Pure Oldies 104.1 and on the NECBL network. 3-2, 2 outs. Head start for Worcester. Ball 4 in the dirt. And D'Amico is aboard, first and second with 2 outs for Garrett Pike. That's the first walk issued by Tornberg, who's still been very good in relief. But it looks like he will be done with 2 outs at the top of the 9th. SwampBats make a pitching change down 6-1 with 2 outs and 2 on for the Nighthawks in the top of the 9th inning. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network. There is a new pitcher here for the SwampBats. It is, I believe that's Alec Rich throwing out there. If we can get a number if he turns around, that would be number 12. And it is Alec Rich. He's a two-way player at Middlebury College, primarily a hitter. But Alec making his first relief pitching appearance of the season. It's nice when you have two-way arms like this, you're able to sort of eat out, save the rest of the bullpen in a situation like this, and that's what Alec Rich is trying to do right now. Tornberg pitched 3 2/3, gave up 3 hits and 1 run for now, but he's responsible for 2 men on at the moment. 1 walk and two strikeouts for Tyler Tornberg. So a good outing for Tornberg, who also hit a batter. And Alec Rich will make his first mound appearance of the season. And the two-way player from Middlebury College, making his first appearance on the mound. He had a 5.87 ERA, went 5-2 in 61 1/3 innings pitched and 47 strikeouts in his collegiate career as a pitcher. He'll face Garrett Pike, the left-hand batter out of University of Toledo, and deals him ball 1 down low at 85 miles an hour. Pike having a terrific day. He is 3 for 4 with 4 runs batted in. That's for a guy that came in batting 192. The pitch, foul back, 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, our next Swamp Bats broadcast will be here on Pure Oldies 104.1 tomorrow on the road. 6:30 first pitch at Mystic. We'll be on the radio with the pregame show at 6:20. Rich, the righty, brings the hands together. The 1-1. Swung on and missed. Strike two at 87 miles an hour with the fastball.
And Jonah, are those numbers you talked about for the pitching, is that his career
Career
okay.
at pitching at Middlebury College, correct.
Gotcha. Because I was going to say he had a pretty solid last season offensively for Middlebury. A .310 average, 22 hits, though.
1-2, little outside from the NESCAC Player of the Year in 2022, Jonah.
Career record holder with 69 stolen bases. Has his name in the accolades for Middlebury.
2-2. Swung on and missed. Strike three. Got him with an outside backdoor slider. And Alec Rich has a perfect pitching record this season. One batter faced and one strikeout. In the ninth inning for Upper Valley, no runs, one hit and two left. We go to the bottom of the ninth. It's 6-1 Nighthawks. This is Keene Swamp Bats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 in the NECBL network.
Curious about the awesome talent Kelly has? Well, here are some robotics specialists. This group works in telecom on 5G. They work on autonomous vehicles. Those are education professionals. Oh, and system analysts, contact center reps, biologists. There's data scientists, substitute teachers, mechanical engineers, not to mention people who work on-site and off-site. Kelly's got top talent in specialized and emerging skill sets, ready to help your business prepare for what's next.
For the Nighthawks is Michael Simonello, where's number 27, 6'1", 195 lefty from Seton Hall, senior from St. James, New York. 4 innings in 3 appearances, 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 5 walks, 5 strikeouts. No record, a 2.25 ERA. Simonello will try and close out the game against Garrett Rice, Matt Brown-Earing, and Greg Bazzo for the Swamp Bats.
Final line for Russell Hunter, who finished up in the 8th inning, made his Nighthawks debut. Clean 1-inning frame, just got a couple ground outs, no hits, no runs, no walks, no strikeouts. And then he was followed before him. It was Jordan Goldman, 2 innings of work, no hits, no earned runs. Struggled a little bit with command with 2 walks, but got out of a bases-loaded jam in that 6th inning and no strikeouts. So a really solid day overall from the entire pitching staff for Upper Valley tonight.
And coming in as the second best pitching team in the league with a 2.56 team ERA. And unless the Swamp Bats get some runs here in the bottom of the ninth, that will go down heading into tomorrow.
Michael Simonello out there on the mound. Played his previous couple seasons at Seton Hall, but he's currently in the transfer portal, a native of St. James, New York. Last year, a 4.76 ERA in 7 appearances, only 5 2/3 innings pitched. So definitely wanting some more playing time at a new school. And so far, through 3 games with the Nighthawks, a 2.25 ERA in 4 innings, 1 earned run. Struggled a little bit with command, 5 walks, along with 5 strikeouts.
Bottom of the ninth, 6-1 Nighthawks. Upper Valley looking to win their 5th straight game ahead of a division matchup with Vermont at home tomorrow. Unless the Swamp Bats can make a big comeback here, it's going to be 6 losses in 7 games for Keene. The first pitch to Braden Horton pitch hitting here for Garrett Rice. Misses 1-0. Left on left matchup. A 1-0 to Braden. Way outside, goes straight to the backstop, 2-0. SwampBats going to be patient here, try and get base runners, make things interesting in the bottom of the ninth. Upper Valley's led since a 3-run first, which saw a home run, 1 other hit, and 3 SwampBats errors. The 2-0. Breaking ball in for strike.
That is a nasty curveball right there from Simonello. Completely fakes out Horton, who ducks, thought that was going to hit him.
That was on the inside corner in the strike zone, according to Pitch Tracker. The 2-1, down and away, 3 balls and 1 strike. SwampBats only managed 3 hits yesterday against the Nighthawks in that 5-3 loss. They've only got 2 hits in this ball game, being out-hit 10-2.
Complete domination for Upper Valley tonight, Jason. Jonah.
Simonello ready, the 3-1. Breaking ball, bends in for a strike at the knees, 3-2. Lot of break.
Yeah.
On that
crazy spin
looping
rate.
curve.
I like to call it a rainbow on that curveball.
A 3-2. Another rainbow lined into center. A base hit for Braden Horton. He'll round first and hang on there. A pinch hit single for Braden Horton. And that will bring up Matt Brown-Earing.
Just the 3rd hit for the SwampBats tonight, but great way to start off this ninth if you want to get a rally going. Somehow, get some miracles happening here.
SwampBats' lone run came on a 372-foot homer from Blake DeLongelier in the 5th. Their best chance to score outside of that was the bases loaded in the 6th inning, but they could not cash in. Brown-Earing played his part in that potential rally. He walked to load the bases. He swings and misses at strike 1 at 90 miles an hour here from lefty Simonello. The 0-1 pitch. Fastball high, 1-1. Jonah, when your lineup is struggling like this, all of these at-bats, no matter what the score is, no matter what the situation is, you're playing to be in the lineup tomorrow.
Yeah, you're playing for playing time. You're playing to show your guy in Sean McKenna that you can contribute and make an impact on a team that's struggling to buy wins.
1-1 inside, 2-1. Struggling to buy wins, struggling to buy runs. That Brown-Earing had an RBI hit yesterday. 0 for 2 with a walk in this game. The 2-1 pitch, breaking ball in there for strike 2.
Fastball for Simonello is a little bit wild, can get away from him, but that curveball, great location.
Simonello sets just below the belt, looks at Horton. And the 2-2 pitch, breaking ball in the dirt. Brown-Earing spits on it, and the count full on the 2nd consecutive hitter to begin the bottom of the 9th. Harrington is holding on Horton at first base just to keep the double play in order.
All you can ask for is just work these counts. Just move the line for Keene.
The payoff pitch. Breaking ball on the ground to third. Booted by the third baseman, D'Amico. That's going to be the 4th E5 of the game against the Nighthawks with two different third basemen.
And I know that's probably going to be an error right there on D'Amico, but that's harder than it looked because that took a bad hop at the last second in that dirt. That's going to be probably have a big divot from all the guys rounding third over there. Took a bad hop at the last second. D'Amico under his glove.
So that will bring up Greg Bozzo. 2 on, nobody out for the SwampBats in the bottom of the 9th. Bozzo over 3, fouled out his last time. Takes down and in, 1-0. Bozzo, number 6 in the order for the SwampBats. They had a few more guys on. They might be able to turn it back around to the top of the order in a situation where could bring the tying runs closer to the plate. 6-1 Nighthawks, bottom of the ninth. First two men on with nobody out for Keene. And a 1-0 count on, it's a pinch hitter. Joseph Salvo takes in the dirt, 2-0. So beg your pardon, Bazo, pinch hit for by a catcher from Samford University, Joseph Salvo. Pinch hitting for Bazo and ahead in the count, 2-0. Salvo 3 for 10 on the season. The pitch plunks him. Bases loaded, nobody out for the SwampBats here in the bottom of the ninth. A single, an error, and a hit batsman. And all of a sudden, the SwampBats will get the tying run into the on-deck circle with nobody out.
This is just, it's not good going from bad to worse for Simonello at that point. Just like he did against North Adams, living dangerously on the edge. You got to think if you're Upper Valley, you got to have someone start warming up in the pen.
Chad Sturgeon going out for a mound visit. So Delamelier now, who is 1 for 3 with a solo homer in the fifth. Then Cordova and Goforth. If the SwampBats want to pinch hit again, they have a couple of options. Jake Mumaw, Jackson Owen, and Aiden Korn are the three position players that the SwampBats have not yet used. Cordova, though, is out there in the on-deck circle. Bases loaded, nobody out in the bottom of the ninth. SwampBats trail 6-1. Simonello, the lefty, to Delamelier, the righty. Set to work. First pitch, outside, ball one. He missed with a fastball at 89 miles an hour off the plate.
This is the guy you want up at the plate if you're Keene. Of course, Delamelier hit the one home run, the one run in this ball game for Keene.
The 1-0 to Blake. Breaking ball, missing below the zone. It's 2-0. If he walks in a run here, that would bring the tying run to bat with nobody out in Ramses Cordova. Infield back, of course, up by 5. Upper Valley wants nothing more than a double play, but it's 2-0 on Delamelier. That is in for a strike at 2-1. Don't mind that from Blake, though, taking a strike, and a pitcher who hasn't thrown too many strikes. Still ahead in the count, 2-1. The pitch. Outside, ball 3. Missed badly with a fastball. This is not the ending to the game that the Nighthawks envisioned, Jonah.
Yeah, we said it was a complete game before this inning when Simonello has struggled to find the zone.
3-1, swung on and missed. He threw him a fastball down the pipe, and it's 3-2. So a full count here to Blake Delamelier. The third full count of the inning that Simonello has faced. The pitch. Inside, he walked in a run. Patient at bat from Blake Delamelier. Gets his second RBI of the game, his 6th of the season. It comes on a base on balls. It's 6-2. Simonello still in the game. And Ramses Cordova will come to bat as a tying run. Horton led off with a pinch hit single, scoring from third. Brown Earring moves to third. Salvo up to second. Cordova's reached on an error, struck out, and grounded out. First pitch to him. Inside, 1-0.
Almost hit him there.
That nearly did. That would have put the tying run on base. 6-2 Upper Valley. Nobody out. Bottom of the ninth. Base is full of SwampBats. Simonello's 1-0. Inside and low. Ball 2. He just can't buy a strike.
14 balls, 8 strikes here. That's not going to get the job done, Jonah.
Evan Goforth is due on deck. The 2-0 pitch. Breaking ball missed outside. 3 balls and no strikes. Runners lead from their respective bases. A 3-0 to Ramses. In for a strike at the D's, 3-1. Big pitch there from Simonello, but he's not out of the woods yet. 3-1 with the bases loaded. The lefty kicks and deals. Taken. Ball 4, he walked in another run. Just off the outside corner from Simonello. It's the 3rd RBI of the season for Ramses Cordova. And the Nighthawks are going to make a pitching change. With a 5-run lead in the bottom of the 9th, Simonello faces 5 batters, and all 5 of them have reached base.
Wow. I'm just stunned at this point. You come in, such a great pitching performance by this entire team, but Simonello just didn't have it tonight.
Bases loaded, still nobody out. Evan Goforth will be due up next for the SwampBats, who trail 6-3 in the bottom of the 9th. This is Keene SwampBats baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL network.
You're listening to Keene SwampBats baseball on WKNE HD3 Keene, Pure Oldies 104.1.
Now's the time to get a great deal on proven Kubota farming equipment at Pinnacle View Equipment. Tractors that are adaptable and versatile. Hay tools that are backed by a 2-year warranty and durable sidekick utility vehicles and SSV skid steer. Get Kubota hay tools for 0 down, 0% APR for up to 48 months, plus up to $2,500 in loyalty cash rewards. Now through June 30th, see Pinnacle View Equipment or go to KubotaUSA.com for more details.
Stop by Pinnacle View Equipment, Route 12 in Walpole, New Hampshire for all your Kubota needs. Whether you're in the market for a brand new Kubota or looking
In Keene, it's got interesting quickly. The SwampBats trailed from the outset in this game. They trailed 6-1 heading into the 9th. It's now 6-3, and the tying runs are all on base for the Bats, who will send up a pinch hitter for Evan Goforth. Jake Mumau. The new pitcher is Nate Kreider for the Nighthawks.
Kreider, the junior righty from Louisiana Tech, made his debut yesterday for the Nighthawks, and 1 inning frame, 1 run. It wasn't an earned run, though. 1 walk and 1 strikeout.
Mumau at the plate represents the potential winning run. First pitch to him. Fastball strike, 0-1. SwampBats have scored 2 runs on bases loaded walks. Salvo at third, Delamelier at second, Cordova the potential tying run at first. The 0-1 to Mumau. Swung on, loop toward left field. Near the line, Myers will make the catch. Tagging from third is Salvo. The throw is cut off. Salvo scores. But the tying runs do not move, and there's 1 man away in the bottom of the 9th. It's a sacrifice fly to Mumau, but he was really looking to get on base there, or at least advance the tying runners. He does get an RBI as Salvo scores from third. It's the first 4-run output by the Bats offense in 7 games.
Wow.
And here's Jordan Smith. First and second, 1 out. Decent speed on the bases in Delamelier and Cordova. Smith nearly gets hit by the pitch. He gets out of the way to breaking ball. Up and in, 1-0.
Not sure if Kreider was expecting to appear in a blowout game like it was, you have to wonder what's going on in his head right now.
The 1-0 on the ground foul of third. That could have been danger if it was headed up the line off the bat of Smith.
I think everyone in the Nighthawks dugout right now is on their toes, sweating right now because they have had this game. They still have it, but they are living on the edge right now.
6-4 Nighthawks, 1 out, 2 on, bottom of the ninth. The 1-1 to Smith. Breaking ball missed inside. 2 balls and a strike. Some frustration from the visiting dugout directed at John Patala, the home plate umpire. That pitch was just off the plate. Set to work. The 2-1. Did it clip him or did it clip the bat? It hit him. It's a hit by pitch. The bases are loaded once more. Tying run into scoring position. Winning run to first base. What drama in the bottom of the ninth. Second time Smith has been plunked in the ball game. And the batter will be Tony Livermore as the umpires come into conference here.
Very close. That was very close.
Was it a hit by pitch or was it a foul ball? It was a hit by pitch. Matt Paws came out to ask the question. I thought that hit him initially.
Might have just gotten off that hand.
They confirm the call. Bases loaded for Livermore. Sean McKenna wants to talk to him. Ahead of what might be the biggest at-bat of the SwampBats season to this point with Devin Taylor on deck. 6-4, bottom of the ninth. Bases loaded, 1 out for Livermore, who grounded out to first as a pinch hitter in the 8th inning. Delamelier, the runner at third. Cordova, the tying run at second. Smith, the potential winning run at first. Corners in, middle back. The pitch on the outside corner. Strike 1 called to Livermore. Another left-hand batter, Devin Taylor, due on deck. The 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's quickly 0-2 here. I said 1-1, but it was 0-1. Now it's 0-2 on Livermore.
Kreider just has to trust his stuff out there, stay confident in himself. You can't think about the runners on board. Not all of them have been your fault. You just got to focus on you, what you can do with this one guy in front of you, and take it one at-bat at a time at this point.
Whatever you do here, if you're Livermore, you want to avoid a ground ball at an infielder with Taylor on deck and 1 out. The 0-2 pitch. Upstairs and outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Unexpected drama Thursday night at Alumni Field. Upper Valley was breezing to a 6-1 win. But it's got interesting. The 1-2 to Livermore. Taken. Strike 3 called. He rings him up on a fastball at the knees. So with the game on the line, here comes the batter the SwampBats would want in this situation. It's Devin Taylor, the Big Ten Freshman of the Year. Hit .316 in the Big Ten with the Indiana Hoosiers in the spring. He's 1 for 3 with a base hit and a walk in this game. Tying run at second, winning run at first. 2 outs, bottom of the ninth. First pitch, taken. Outside, 1-0. Braden Horton, who led off the inning as a pinch hitter, would be next. The 1-0 to Taylor. Taken low, 2-0.
Great layoff right there from Taylor.
At a breaking ball. You know Taylor's not getting the red light with a tying run on second base no matter what the count. 2-0 pitch. Tipped into the mitt of Klingenbeck, and it's 2-1. He got a fastball outer half. Just missed it.
Each time he's thrown that fastball, he's lost his hat.
Takes a deep breath. From the windup with the bases loaded, the 2-1 pitch. Foul back. It's 2-2. For the first time this game, the SwampBats are down to their final strike. We've already had one such comeback this season here against North Adams.
Both sides battling right here. High drama in Keene. You got to love what this next pitch is going to be.
The 2-2 on the way. Taking a breaking ball low, and it's 3-2.
Just keeps building here, Jonah.
It'll be a head start for Delamelier at third, for Cordova at second, the tying run in for Smith at first.
Biggest pitch of the night right here. Kreider, throw your best stuff.
Here it comes. Popped up. Left side, foul out of play, and we'll do it again. It'll be the 7th pitch of the at-bat from Kreider to Taylor with a game on the line. The 9th man to bat in the inning for the SwampBats. They entered it down 6-1. It's now 6-4 with the bases juiced. The 3-2 pitch. Drilled in the air. Right field. Back goes Pike. He makes the catch in front of the wall. Devin Taylor was feet from a game-winning grand slam. The Nighthawks hang on by the skin of their teeth. Taylor extremely frustrated at first base, down the first base line. He just missed a chance to win the game in the most spectacular fashion.
Wow.
What a bottom of the 9th inning. Nate Kreider works out of it. In the 9th for the SwampBats, 3 runs on 1 hit. 1 error, and the bases left loaded. The final score in this one, the Upper Valley Nighthawks 6, the Keene SwampBats 4. Back to talk about it on the post-game show next. This is Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network. Like we almost just witnessed Devin Taylor hit a walk-off grand slam. It went 3-13 before being caught by Garrett Pike right in front of the wall with a winning run on base. That was the game's final out as the SwampBats fall to the Nighthawks today by a final score of 6-4. It's the third straight loss for the SwampBats, the fifth straight win for the Nighthawks. Keene have now dropped 6 of their last 7 games. Thanks again for joining us for this one and for the SwampBats post-game show. Let's take you through it. Here's how the game happened. Upper Valley got on the board 2 pitches into the game. Darius Myers hit a home run. Then Ethan Cavanaugh reached on an error. Jack Cartsonis for the SwampBats struck out the third batter, Steve Harrington, and then was pulled from the game. He was feeling, as he put it, dead just in terms of his mechanics, his ability to throw the ball. He was missing some velocity on his fastball, taken out in case there was some bigger issue there. And we hope for the best in terms of the news on Jack Cartsonis. But Matt Rowe came in, pitched well, 2 2/3. SwampBats made 2 more errors in the bottom of the first, though, on the way to 3 unearned Upper Valley, 3 runs for Upper Valley, 2 of which were unearned. 3-0 all the way to the top of the 5th as Rowe pitched well for 2 2/3. With Will Newell into the game for the Bats, Garrett Pike hit a 2-run double to left center, making it 5-0 Upper Valley. Keene got a run back in the bottom of the 5th on a solo home run from Blake DeLamelier. And Upper Valley made it a 6-1 game. An RBI single from Pike, his 4th RBI of the game. The base hit in the 7th. Tyler Tornberg pitched well in relief, 3 2/3 innings, 3 hits, gave up just 1 run and struck out 2. To keep the game close, Alec Rich got the final out at the top of the 9th. SwampBats could not cash in with the bases loaded and 2 outs back in the bottom of the 6th. So bottom of the 9th, 6-1 game, straightforward, right? Wrong. Michael Simonello gives up a base hit to pinch hitter Brayton Horton. Matt Brown-Earing reaches on an error. Joseph Salvo's hit by a pitch. Blake DeLamelier's walks in a run, it's 6-2. Ramses Cordova walks in a run, it's 6-3. Pitching change. Jake Mumma hits a fly out to left field, driving in a run to make it 6-4. And then Jordan Smith gets hit by a pitch for the new pitcher, Nate Kreider. Bases loaded, 1 out, tying run at second, winning run at first. Tony Livermore called out on strikes on a good pitch from Nate Kreider, and then Devin Taylor coming up several feet short of a game-winning grand slam. A fly out to the warning track in right field into the mid of Garrett Pike to end the game as the Nighthawks beat the SwampBats by a final score of 6-4. Let's take a look around the NECBL, see if any other games have gone final. The Danbury Westerners have beaten the Martha's Vineyard Sharks 3-2. The Bristol Blues have beaten the Sanford Mainers 3-2. Top of the 9th, the Newport Gulls lead the Valley Blue Sox 8-0. Bottom of the 7th, the North Adams Steeplecats lead the Ocean State Waves 5-4. It's time for the final totals this evening from Alumni Field. For the Nighthawks, 6 runs on 10 hits, 4 errors, and 10 men left on base. For the SwampBats, 4 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors, and 7 men left on base, including the bases loaded in the bottom of the 9th. The winning pitcher was Luis Misla. He improves to 2-0. Losing pitcher Jack Cartsonis, we hope he's okay. He drops to 0-2. Nate Kreider pitched 2/3 of an inning with the bases loaded to get his first save. Time of the game, 2 hours and 49 minutes with an attendance of 1,475 people at Alumni Field. Our next broadcast tomorrow at the Mystic Schooners. First pitch 6:30, pregame show 6:20 on Pure Oldies 104.1. SwampBats with a loss drop to 5-8. Nighthawks improved to 8-2. For Jonah Krell and Trevor Pearson, our producer-engineer back in the studio, Forrest Sundstrom, our producer for the NECBL Network, Ryan Hearn, director, Steve Pierce. I'm Jonah White, saying so long and good night from Alumni Field. Once again, the final score, the Upper Valley Nighthawks 6, the Keene SwampBats 4. This has been Keene SwampBats Baseball on Pure Oldies 104.1 and the NECBL Network.
You have been watching a presentation of the Keene SwampBats on the NECBL Network. You can follow us on Facebook at Keene SwampBats, Twitter and Instagram at SwampBats_Keene, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at SwampBats. Please tune in to our next broadcast, and thank you for watching.